The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Happy Saturday. The New York Jets coaching staff continues to be finalized by Aaron Glenn. We're going to talk with Joe Caporoso from Badlands, all things Jets, get his thoughts on Glenn's staff, and talk about an awesome event that I will be attending with the Badlands crew. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I wanted this job.
Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Saturday. Click that thumbs up, like button, and right over here, right down there, click that subscribe button and help our channel continue to grow. A reminder, we're live from New Orleans beginning Monday. We will have awesome guests join the channel throughout the week, including this guy's co-host on the Badlands podcast. Let's say hello right now to Joe Caporoso. Joe, always a pleasure to have you on the show. And let's get to the big announcement right off the top. You guys are doing an incredible live event for all Jet fans to attend. And you were nice enough to say, hey, Jake, come join us. So tell us all about the Badlands live show in New York City on April 11th.
Yes, April 11th, Printers Alley, New York City, 7 to 10 p.m. We are going to do our first ever Badlands live show, live podcast. Going to have the entire gang out there. Going to take over the entire bar. Part of it is going to be yourself interviewing Connor and I. So we're going to do a podcast. We're going to answer questions. There's going to be giveaways. We'll be having some new merch, open bar, food. You'll see plenty of other familiar friends and faces from the greater Jets Twitter, Badlands Discord ecosystem. So something we're really excited about. And tickets are on sale now at badlandstoj.com. So come out and hang in person. It'll be good to have everyone under one roof in that sweet spot between free agency and the NFL draft. The vibes generally are high for Jet fans around that time.
Oh, that's when we always make the joke about winning the offseason. That is when we're at the peak of, hey, this team's going to be great. Here we go again, baby. You're right. That is the sweet spot for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's look, I think the energy's been good anyway, post Glenn hiring. I don't know how you watch his opening presser and, don't feel all right about where things are headed. I know he's got to prove it first, but this is our time, as you know, as a Jets fan. This is where the energy is positive, and it's been a hell of a month, as we were talking about off air. There's just been something happening every single day, and I don't think that's going to slow down anytime soon.
So we're going to be putting the link. It's already there, actually, for those who want to buy your tickets. So if you're a Jet fan in the New York area, come on down. It will be a lot of fun. Joe, Connor, Will Parkinson, who's been a weekly on the show for the last 3 years, they're all going to be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, Joe, perfect time to get you on because yesterday, late afternoon, it became official. The Jets have a new offensive coordinator. Tanner Engstrand comes over from the Lions. I'll flash his bio on the screen for everyone here. What was your initial reaction to Engstrand being the choice for Glenn? Because one could argue the most important hire he has to get right is the one he made yesterday here with Engstrand.
Look, I feel like the wind was blowing in this direction for a while, at least the last 4 or 5 days. He was also a name that I'd say about a month or so ago when Jet fans were talking about the possibility of hiring Glenn, his name was brought up a lot. It's not surprising to see Glenn go back to the well in Detroit and try to get someone who was a senior voice on maybe the best offense in football this year. He's a guy who's called a lot of plays in college. He did not follow Ben Johnson to Chicago, which to me makes sense because he wants to call plays, and Ben Johnson's going to call plays in Chicago. I get Jet fans who are saying, well, why didn't Dan Campbell promote him? And I think you can make the case that he wanted a guy who was a little more experienced for a very win-now team, a guy who's been a coordinator before. It's a fair thing to monitor. I think it's important that the Jets bring a senior offensive assistant in. Could be a Todd Haley type, could be a Doug Peterson type, someone who's been in the league a little while and can help a first-time offensive coordinator. I think they will do that. But, this guy got a front row seat to everything Ben Johnson did. And I think that's reason for optimism. We got to see it in practice before you start getting exciting. But I don't think it's a surprising hire in a vacuum. It makes sense that Glenn would go back to that Detroit staff for this hire.
Does it concern you at all that it's yet another first-time offensive coordinator with a first-time head coach?
I think it's a fair thing to be worried about, right? Jets are going to have a first-time GM, first-time head coach, first-time offensive coordinator. That's why I think it's important to add a couple veteran voices to the offensive staff, which I think they will do. Defensively, they got Steve Wilkes, who's got a ton of experience. I think will kind of function in like an assistant head coach capacity, officially or unofficially, which I think is a positive. But it's important as this staff is built out that both Glenn and Muji make some hires of guys who have done it before. And I think they will. And I think we'll see some of that come together in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
We're talking with Joe Caporoso, host of Badlands, also the founder of Turn on the Jets. I want to get to the Aaron Rodgers conversation with Joe in just a moment, but a reminder to everyone tuning in that our Asmaniac raffle, our 14th raffle featuring the signed Joe Namath helmet and display case, the Joe Klecko signed Hall of Fame inscription helmet, the Mark Gastineau autograph helmet, the Aaron Glenn signed photo. That will go down next week in honor of Super Bowl week. So gift a membership to be entered into the raffle. And if you send in a $20 super chat, that will get you 5 raffle entries as well. And look, I'm adding another prize because I'm hyped for Super Bowl week, and I know there's a lot of excitement for Aaron Glenn. So in honor of Aaron Glenn, prize number 5, an Aaron Glenn jersey, number 31. So if you win, you have a chance now to win an Aaron Glenn jersey. So gift the membership to once again be entered in our raffle. Speaking of Aaron Glenn, Joe, we know that him and Aaron Rodgers are going to speak. Maybe they have already had that meeting and they're still going through it. Your thoughts on Engstrand and how that potentially influences what happens with Aaron Rodgers one way or another?
I'm not sure it's going to swing it in either direction. I think this is going to be an Aaron Glenn call either way. I will say, Glenn hired one of his guys, right? He didn't go hire someone who's worked with Rodgers before. He didn't go get like Luke Getsy or something, or someone that has some kind of history. So he went and got his guy, which makes sense because in any scenario, the longest Rodgers is here is 1 year. So I don't think the offensive coordinator decision really tells us anything. I think it's really going to come down to money. And I doubt the final conversation has happened. I'm sure the two have talked to each other, but they just finished putting the whole staff together this week. I think they all need to sit in a room together without Rodgers and have a conversation and look at their cap situation, look at the roster, look at what their different paths are. And then they will have a bigger conversation with him before the league year opens, which is still, 5 weeks away or so. So I think a lot of people seem to be implying that like a decision's been made already because like he liked an Instagram post that they hired like a special teams coach. I don't think that's it. I think Rodgers is a smart guy. I think he knows what he's doing, and he's keeping all of his options open. And if he wants to come back, I think he is behooved to kind of put it back in the court of the Jets to be like, well, I want to be back. It's up to you. He's paid a lot of money if he's back. I don't know. I still think it's like 25% overall. I know people kind of feel like it's higher now just because they hired Aaron Glenn and he was on a team that had Jared Goff and that was a veteran quarterback. I don't know. I thought Glenn handled the questions about Rodgers really well. I thought he handled the press conference overall really well, but
Me too.
His framing was that, he's one guy on the roster. We're going to look at the whole roster, and that doesn't mean he won't come back, but he did not let it turn into just sort of an Aaron Rodgers spectacle. So I still have a hard time just from a timeline perspective, seeing them deciding to just bring him back for this like one standalone year. I don't know. I wouldn't fully write it off. It's a hard thing to kind of like make a guess on. I was probably at like 5 to 10% after the Bills game. I'll say maybe again, it's like closer to 25%, but we're going to know soon. I don't think a decision's been made yet, but I think we'll know probably by the end of February.
I feel like
Rodgers still gives them the best chance to win if you just look at it from that perspective. Obviously, it's more than just, hey, who's the best option, because there's everything that comes with Rodgers. There's the salary cap ramifications. There's the, reported relationship between him and Garrett that has to obviously get straightened out. So I recognize that it's not just, hey, you just bring Aaron Rodgers back because he's your best option. That said, though, Joe, I still maintain that if you bring Rodgers back and he'd be willing to redo his contract, which he has said publicly he'd be open to, that means that you're not as much concerned about the salary cap stuff beyond this year. You probably get Devontae Adams back. So the spin is, hey, this guy's taking less. And then you bring Devontae back, and now you have Garrett and Devontae, because without Aaron, you probably don't have Devontae. And then your wide receiver room stinks. I mean, I know you played wide receiver in college, Joe. Maybe you could suit up, because you could do more than Corley and Gibson. Let's be real. So, like, I say all that to say, if he's willing to take the pay cut, if him and Glenn get on the same page, maybe he loves what the Lions were doing on offense and is really encouraged with his conversations with Engstrand. If Aaron's all in and he wants to play, I still would like him back for 1 year, because I see the value in Rodgers for a year. Maybe you draft someone that's developing behind him. And I look at the Bills when they ended that playoff drought with Tyrod after 17 years. They make the playoffs. They got bounced early. They're 6-10 the following year, but they traded up for Allen. That's why they went 6-10. And you at least had faith in that regime, even though they took a quote-unquote step back in year 2, then they took off in year 3. Like, I'd love for the Jets to maybe follow that Buffalo blueprint that McDermott and Bean laid out when they first got there.
Listen, it's not completely unlikely that this could happen. I think the question really is, beyond the money, is Aaron Rodgers going to work within the offense and the identity that they're going to try to bring, right? Can Aaron Rodgers not be the center of the universe for the Jets next year, and let Aaron Glenn build the identity of this team, build the culture of the team? Will he run Tanner Engstrand's offense and run the football more, not change plays at the line, not sort of just like do all the improvising? It's hard for guys who are 42 years old, who are Hall of Famers, to kind of change who they are. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility. If he wants to keep playing, there's not a ton of great options. Maybe like you work something out with Pittsburgh. Like, does he really want to go to the Titans? Like, the Titans are going to draft a quarterback first overall. I don't see a San Francisco thing happening. I think it just comes down to like his desire to play and his desire to play within the confines of what the Jets want to do. I won't argue that on field that, Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields are going to be better than him. Even a diminished version of Rodgers is likely to be better than them if he could stay healthy. It's just, he's going to have to change a little bit of the guy he's been in recent years, and they can't run that same offense that they did last year, which was partially on him, partially on Hackett, partially on Downing. It was ugly. They were just terrible utilization of their players, did not run the ball enough, did not use Garrett Wilson in the right way. And if they're going to roll with Rodgers, that has to change. And if they have to potentially sacrifice Garrett Wilson for Rodgers, then man, like, that's a hard sell, because that's the kind of guy you want to build with and build around. I don't know if the relationship's that far gone, if that's really the reality. I would like to see Muji make his first order of business extending Garrett Wilson. I think that's a good way to win over the fan base early, and just a smart football move. But we're going to find out soon. I do wonder, and I said this to Connor yesterday, I do wonder what the general sentiment is if the Jets played the Dolphins in week 17 and played the Bills in week 18 and the results were exactly the same. I think
good point.
How that game went and ended with Miami left like a very good taste in everyone's mouth, while everyone's kind of forgetting the week before. So I do hope it's a quick resolution. And I think the Jets want it to be like, you don't want this dragon for the whole offseason. I think you need a firm, definitive answer comfortably before the league year starts, because it's going to color everything else you do in the offseason.
Huge shout out to listener Artie Kaiser, who's the first person here on a Saturday to gift 5 channel memberships. That means Artie is in the raffle for 5 entries, and we added another prize to all the other signed helmets. An Aaron Glenn jersey is now prize number 5 in the Asmaniac raffle.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Let's go, baby. Comments, questions for Joe. We'll get to some super chats coming up. Specifically at quarterback, let's say it's not Aaron Rodgers, Joe. What are the other options? Like, what to you are the options that you look at and go, I could see this actually happening for the Jets? I think one is obvious. Tyrod Taylor's under contract, and he would probably be the favorite. But, beyond Rodgers and Tyrod, your thoughts on other avenues the Jets could go down?
I mean, mathematically, the highest likelihood would be Tyrod. I think you can't just have Tyrod because if you told me Tyrod would play 17 games, I'd be like, just roll with him. Like he's a perfect bridge quarterback. But it's not fair to assume he can play 17 games. You probably get 10 or 12 from him, best case scenario. So who else can you go get that can start 5 to 7 games and compete with him? Justin Fields is a popular name. If you want to have a very run-heavy offense, you get Tyrod, Fields, Brees, Allen, Davis. You run the hell out of the football. You play good defense. You play better special teams, and you see where that gets you. I wonder if, looking at Muji and Glenn, do they make a call to Denver and see if they can get Jarrett Stidham for a year or two, maybe as a backup or someone to compete? Do they try to see if they can get Herndon Hooker? Is Detroit going to part ways with him? Do they still view him as the backup of the future? Teddy Bridgewater is on Detroit's roster. He's been here before. The other names are what you'd expect, right? It's like Garner Minshew and Marcus Mariota, none of which are particularly exciting. I think in the draft, they're not going to take a quarterback in the first round. I know everyone's getting hot and bothered about Jackson Dart coming out of Senior Bowl, but I don't think that's going to happen in the first round. Doesn't mean on day 2 or day 3, they might not look at a Dart or a McCord. I don't think there's any harm in taking a swing. And you also could see what you have from Jordan Travis, although I'd temper expectations there. I think in a world where it's not Rodgers, Tyrod's probably starting week 1. And you also see another quarterback get reps at some point throughout the season.
It's just so depressing when you really go through the options. And that's why I lean with bringing Rodgers back, assuming what we talked about, pay cut, all in, etc. Because I think there's a path to being a playoff team with Rodgers next year. Like this could remind, I think, a lot of Jet fans of that 2006 year, Joe, with Mangini when he came in, took over a team that was coming off a 4-win season. Expectations were low. Chad was healthy, and with better coaching, the Jets go out there, they're 10-6, they make the playoffs, and Eric Mangini's on The Sopranos as the man genius because of that season. So I don't want to throw away next year. And I'm not saying they couldn't be competitive with Tyrod or someone else. It's just I feel like the way Rodgers played down the stretch with better coaching, maybe a real running game, if you just look at him through the lens of a bridge quarterback, I still think he's their best option, with the caveat being everything we've discussed so far with what comes with Rodgers.
Yeah, I get the argument. No one's more tired of watching non-playoff seasons than me. It's unbelievable. There is a world if Rodgers could play 15, 16, 17 games and is a version of the quarterback they need him to be within their offense, that you could win 9 or 10 games. 7 teams make the playoffs now, right? Could they be that Pittsburgh that makes the playoffs every year and breaks the playoff drought, gets that monkey off the back? There's definitely still a world where this happens. I would not say it's a 0% chance. You do also have to be prepared that Rodgers is going to be 42, and he played 17 games last year. The odds of that happening again, I would say, are probably slim. You got to be prepared for him to probably miss some time, but you'd be prepared for the same thing with Tyrod as well. So I think it's very much behooves the Jets to get to an answer sooner rather than later, because how they sort of establish the narrative around what they're doing and how that feeds into how they handle free agency in the draft is going to be critical. And listen, I get Jet fans again who are like, I can't do another 4-13, 5-12 season. Just because Rodgers is in here doesn't mean that's definitely going to happen. But I think mathematically you'd see like a higher expected win total if he's still their starting quarterback.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. A huge shout out to Rick Kent, who just get the 10-channel membership.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hell yeah, Rick. All right, question here from KJH, who writes in, do you think Glenn's leadership and personality would be strong enough to overcome the Rodgers mope? That's my biggest fear with bringing Rodgers back. See you boys at the live show. KJH will be at the Badlands live show. Buy your tickets with the link in the description.
I would hope so, right? That's what you're betting on, that Glenn has that kind of leadership ability to overcome challenging situations. The question is, do you want to throw him right into a challenging situation? I would hope Glenn, when they have this conversation, has a very direct framing, which is like, we're doing shit my way. And like, we're not doing the pointing and like rolling your eyes on the field and changing the plays at the line. And I don't know if Rodgers is game for that, because Rodgers might be like, well, who the hell are you? You're a first-time head coach and I'm a Hall of Famer. That's what I worry about, where it's like, are we like, is he on McAfee in week 3, like throwing shade at the coaching staff if the Jets are 1-2 or something? And that's what you have to consider. It's not just strictly who's the best on-field option. Are you like kneecapping Aaron Glenn out of the gate? I do think Glenn has a strong enough personality to handle this stuff. I mean, he's going to have to handle a lot in his time here as a New York head coach and really the front man for the organization, right? Like this is a head coach first organization now, not a GM Joe Douglas first organization. So I would glean from his press conference he will be very direct with Rodgers when they talk.
Do you think that Glenn being a former player really helps him here, maybe earn some respect with a guy like Aaron Rodgers? Like, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greats of all time, but Aaron Glenn was no slouch as a player. This guy was a Pro Bowl corner, and, I mean, the leadership, you talk to Aaron Glenn, it just you just see it. It oozes out of them. Do you think that maybe helps him with this potential combo with Rodgers? Because there's no chance Robert Saleh was ever going to be able to have difficult conversations with Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think it hurts, right? I think guys, you get a certain degree of respect for playing in the league and playing well in the league. I think Glenn has the support of a lot of ex-players and coaches here, Parcells, Groh. You saw like Damian Woody and Mangold and Tony Richardson and Victor Green and all these guys out at the opening press conference. So I certainly don't think that hurts, right? And I think I would just hope these guys could come to a mutual understanding. I think they each have different incentives. They're at different timelines in their career. Like Glenn is just starting out in this journey, and Rodgers is going to be his last year, right? And he might still retire. Like it would not be. I still think there's a very real world where Rodgers says he retires, and then like in May or June, he's like, I changed my mind, and then tries to force the Jets to trade him somewhere, like very Favre-esque. I would not be shocked if that plays out as well. So we're going to see. But I do think Glenn has the energy, has the personality, has the authenticity to work with a range of different type of guys, inclusive of Aaron Rodgers.
Ladies and gentlemen, memberships are just flying off the shelves. Joe comes on and everyone gets a membership.
Free stuff.
Austrian Jet fan in the raffle for 5. Vinny in the raffle for 5. He says Rodgers Adams 2025 LFG. I mean, there's no doubt Devontae Adams could still play. Here's a question I have. I think it's unlikely, Joe, but say Rodgers does. Maybe the only scenario this could happen is what you're outlining. Rodgers retires and the Jets look at it like, hey, we're on the hook for $8 million in dead cap anyway for Devontae. Could we at least try to see if we can get something done with him so we keep him and we have him and Garrett for at least another year together? But then part of me is like, well, if Rodgers retires, does Devontae want to stick around on a team that's not going to be expected to do much more than maybe, sneak into the playoffs as like the best case scenario?
I mean, look, I would like to keep Devontae Adams in any scenario. He's still really good. I think he made life easier for Garrett Wilson to an extent. I would have no problem with him being here with another quarterback because, once you get rid of Devontae, that room is pretty goddamn ugly on paper, right? It's like Garrett Wilson, Xavier Gibson, who's not an NFL receiver. I'm not sure what Malachi Corley is at this point. I don't know if anyone is, and Al Lazard won't be here. So that's it. So they have work to do, right? Could they draft a receiver at 7? Not out of the question. Can they go get a guy like Tim Patrick, who's on the Lions and is familiar with this offense? Sure. Will they look at the trade market maybe if Devontae's not here? I think that could be a possibility. But if Devontae isn't here, like you need to add 2 receivers, like meaningful additions to that room. If he is, you got less work to do. I mean, they do still need to look at tight end in my mind. I feel good about the offensive line. I feel good about the running back room. Tight end and receiver and quarterback obviously are the question marks.
No doubt about that. This one is from Jesus Jerry, who says, Wilkes, 5 teams plus 2 NCAA teams since 2018. I'm concerned. Wilkes' resume is fascinating because he was one and done in Arizona. He kind of got screwed over with what happened with Carolina, right? He takes over as the interim. Yeah. They're 6-6 with him. And then obviously new regime comes in after that. So it's a very fascinating resume. Your thoughts on the resume of new Jets DC Steve Wilkes?
Like you said, it's unique. It's interesting. I think he got the short end of the stick, both in Arizona and Carolina. I think I'd be more worried if he was like their head coach, but they're hiring him just to be their defensive coordinator. And I like that Glenn hired a guy who is fully capable of just running the defense. So Glenn can focus on being the head coach. Certainly something to monitor. Is he going to be here for 5 years? But he's not a guy that, is going to be looking to jump, I think. And he has kind of nowhere to go but up with this Jets defense with how they played down the stretch last year. So I'm happy they got someone as experienced as him and really emphatically shows that Glenn is not going to be a glorified defensive coordinator here. Like they have a very real defensive coordinator now where Glenn could be like, you got the defense. Like, obviously I'll check in and I could focus on running the whole thing here.
Few minutes left with Joe, so if you have a last-second question, write it in. Super Chats will cut the line. Double R's got a scenario for you, Joe. Swap first-round picks with the Vikings for J.J. McCarthy, and he sits behind Aaron Rodgers for 1 year.
I think the J.J. McCarthy rumors from Jet fans were a little more realistic before Sam Darnold went back to being Jet Sam Darnold the final 2 games of the year. I would have been interested in taking a swing there. I don't like that's the kind of guy. I think he's as good as or a better prospect than every quarterback in this draft class. I just don't think Minnesota's cutting ties with him after what they saw from Darnold in those last 2 games. Like they did spend a first-round pick on him, and I could see O'Connell being like, "Why am I giving up on McCarthy? Like I thought he could be our quarterback of the future, and like maybe it won't be this year, but it could be the year after." So I think he'll be back in Minnesota next year.
As far as the draft goes, Joe, I know your co-host Connor Rogers is Mr. Draft, and I look forward to getting him on next week at Radio Row. But as far as just your initial thoughts, a couple of months out, we just had Senior Bowl week. Your thoughts on the options potentially for the Jets at 7, and then just your thoughts on the type of positions they could be looking at specifically in that range.
I'm watching the trenches as always. I think if Mason Graham's there, they'll take him. I don't know if he's going to fall to 7. I'm looking at offensive line options depending on what they do with Morgan Moses. Although I'd like to see Moses back for a year. A lot of people think they'll go corner because of Glenn. I don't really think that's the case, and I'm not crazy about them using another very high pick on a cornerback. McMillan's interesting at receiver. I know
I like him a lot.
I know people don't like hearing me talk about tight end, but Warren is also an interesting guy, although maybe that's more of a trade down scenario. McMillan, I mostly Graham and McMillan is where I've focused my time and energy. I know Connor is rooting very heavily for Graham to be there at 7 as well. I mean, they need a lot of help in the defensive front. Like you and like every other Jet fan, I never want to see Michael Clemens, Javon Kinlaw, or Solomon Thomas play a rep here again, which means they need a lot of help around Quinnen Williams. And man, you got Quinnen and Mason Graham up front. That's going to be a hell of a thing for offenses to deal with.
Your confidence level in the Jets being able to retain a guy like Jamian Sherwood or some of the other free agents like Morgan Moses. I'd love to see him back on a 1-year deal. Then maybe you draft someone on day 2 or day 3 that's in the pipeline that's developing behind him. And then you have some continuity for once with the offensive line. That'd be awesome to me. Your thoughts on those options?
I think I don't see why they wouldn't be proactive in trying to keep Sherwood, although let's see if the market gets crazy for him. Like, are they going to look at, do we bring a Derek Barnes over because we had him in Detroit? Is Quincy going to want a new contract? I feel like he's kind of implied that. Mosley's probably going to retire. I'd like to see them run it back with Sherwood and Quincy. I think they're good players and they're young. So why not? And they have the money. They have the flexibility to do these things. He's an off-ball linebacker. He's not going to get that much money. So you want to keep some of these young ascending players and not create more holes for yourself.
All right, final question, Joe. Does it ever get intimidating doing the podcast with Connor and seeing how incredible his hair is day in, day out?
No, I've been doing podcasts with Connor since he's 21, so I am used to it. And Connor's, as I always have to remind people, Connor's 5 or 6 years younger than me. That's why he's got that much better hair flow. I'm happy at 37 to still have my hair and it all not be gray. So that's what I'm focused on at this stage. And you'll get to see the flow in person at the Super Bowl next week.
Cannot wait. All right, one more time, Joe, for those two to get late. The Badlands live show in New York City, April 11th. I will be there. I'm looking forward to it. Tell people what they need to know and where they can get their tickets.
BadlandsTOJ.com to get your tickets. Your ticket includes the live show, Q&A, open bar, food, entry and giveaways. You'll be in a bar that's fully taken over by somewhere between 200 to 300 crazy Jet fans. I'll be there. Connor will be there. Will be there. Paul, Jake, Dan, Meeks, Dalvin, anyone you've ever heard on the Badlands feed. Jake will be there interviewing Connor and myself. I think we got guys like NYJ Matt and NYJ Mike coming out doing some trivia with us up there. We'll also have some other friends in the media. Zach will be there, who hosts Flight Plan on our feed, and there'll be more to come. So if you're a Jet fan, I think it will be a worthwhile experience for a Friday night in April.
Can you guys handle the Asmaniacs that are going to be there, Joe? Are you ready? You prepared?
We're prepared. I think the bar can handle that many Jet fans from all different segments of the fan base. And it's good to get everyone together and get everyone on the same page. We got rising boats lifts all tides here. So it will be a fun night. We're excited. We haven't done a version of this before. It's overdue. And I'm very happy that we were able to settle and doing it in Midtown Manhattan. Should be, the appropriate venue for us and hopefully easy enough for everyone to get to. It's like a 5-minute walk from Penn Station. So we'll see everyone in April.
Cannot wait. Joe, looking forward to it. We'll get you on before then for sure. Appreciate you hopping on. Continue success with the Badlands Network. It's a great listen for everyone out there.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Caporoso with us here. The link is in the description if you guys want to get your tickets. Looking forward to being at that. It'll be a lot of fun. Tiff wants in on the raffle. Get me in the raffle, homie. Tiff, you're in for 5. If anyone sends a $50 super chat, you'll be in for 10. I know people can't gift from the phone, so I wanted to give people another option to get in the raffle that features the biggest prizes we've ever done, like this, the Joe Namath signed helmet. We had to step it up for Super Bowl week, and for those who missed it, in addition to the Namath helmet, the Klecko signed helmet, the Gastineau signed helmet, the Glenn signed photo. How about an Aaron Glenn jersey of your choice? You pick the size, I send it to you. AG31 will send you an Aaron Glenn jersey if you win. Some super chats here that I wanted to get to. The legend of Bobby Midnight says, "Hi, Jake, my friend. I love your show, and I'll sing happy birthday to Cheats Fan." All right, Bobby, if Cheats Fan calls in, we'll let you sing happy birthday to him. His birthday is tomorrow, everyone. The great Cheats Fan. There's a super chat about Justin Tucker that I am not going to read from Mark, but I see what you're doing there. Vinny writes in, "Beast must have had a wild Friday night." Maybe he did. We got him on the way to the suburbs yesterday, for those who caught the afternoon show with Boy Green yesterday. The real Supermar says, "Unleash the Beast." You see what's happening here, people? The Beast movement is growing. And then I put him on, and people say, "Oh, I hate him. I'm retiring. I'm not watching." And then I don't put him on, and they want him unleashed. It's quite the conundrum. That said, the show must go on. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. The Gusbuster hotline link is pinned. So if you want in on the conversation, now you can. Reminder, we're at Radio Row next week. I already teased one of the guests, going to get Connor on. But we're going to have other great guests as well, jet-related, some non-jet related. So it's going to be awesome. Can't wait. I'll be live starting Monday. First show will be at some time in the afternoon, Monday live from Radio Row. So get set for Super Bowl week with us on the channel all week long. Make sure you're subscribed in the Discord if you want to know some of the guests. I'll start teasing some of the big announcements this weekend. Wish B is in our raffle. He's in for 5. Sound the alarm. All right, if you hear your name called, I'll give the 5 here. I see it right in front of me. Brooklyn Frank, Firefly Hill, Antonio Pando, Doja88, and Ray 315. I'm going to throw this out there too. If anyone gives 20 during the show, I have a new thing I'm going to do on this program today to honor anyone that gives 20 channel memberships. With that said, Gusbuster hotline is open. Kyle Clifton gets the first word today. What's up, Kyle?
What's going on, Jake?
How are you? Where you outside?
I still have the siren going on in the background. It's crazy.
Uh-oh, you're delayed. The delay.
I'll come back.
The Kyle Clifton delay. Yeah, we got to figure that out. We got to get Kyle back on here. Beastbreaker writes in, "To all the real fans who dig the Beast, you're welcome to mob. To all the crybabies who hate me, you all need hooked on phonics and suck it up and be a real person instead of being a turkey." Beast, that's incredibly well said. Let's see if we got Kyle this time. Kyle, are you there?
I am here. And
All
it was
right.
another one of those instances where I was getting the sound effect prolonged in the background. Like the siren kept on going when I was
that must have been a nightmare.
Oh, it was crazy.
Now, hold on one second, Kyle. I got huge breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Can you freaking believe this?
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Helmet on. Here we go. 20 channel memberships from Peter Castro. He wants a Glenn jersey, baby. Let's go.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
20 names from Peter. Then we get right back to Kyle Clifton. Peter Castro, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Ed Hoffman, C-Laws, Ian Wirt, London Jets, Will Weber, Bubs52, Javi C21, Mikhail Edwards, Robert Morris, Robert Walsh. A Chinese name that I don't know what it means because it's in Chinese lettering. Relaxing Sounds, Rocky Jets, Sammy Spiridolius, Heath A. God, right. This is insane. The chat's broken here. Zog Papanera, Daquan Smalls, Brendan Hopkins, JVP, all receiving channel memberships. All right, we'll get back to Kyle. Whoa! Rick Kent is in for 20.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Of all the dramatic things I have ever seen. Let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
The helmet is staying on. I got 20 more names to read because Rick Kent is now in the raffle for 20 more raffle entries. Here we go. Imanin, Real Talk, Proverbial Life. Let's see. Oh, God, it's exploding. What's happening here? I know what happened here. Jet Life just gifted 20 channel memberships. That's why I can't get all the names. They're still coming in. Of all the dramatic things I have ever seen, Roger Clemens and George Steinbrenner's box, and Jet Life, Peter Castro, and Rick Kent each gifting 20 apiece.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
At this point, should I add another full-size helmet to our raffle and just extend the raffle till I get back from New Orleans? I got to consider that after all these memberships we've added during the show so far. I can't even get the list of names. You guys broke the chat on my end. So, wow. Jet up, baby. Ugh. Oh, my God. God, this thing is big. When I say full size, I mean it. Thank you to everyone. Jet Life, Castro, Rick Kent, for gifting a membership. Wow, I couldn't even get the names there. We had too many. All right, Kyle, I apologize. You're back.
Not a problem. I would tune in just to hear you read gifted memberships while your head swimming in that helmet.
That helmet is massive.
So I don't know if you had a chance to see it or if anyone's seen it. ESPN Insider had a pretty good piece about takeaways from Senior Bowl practices this week, and they basically said that this running back class is like two running back classes in one. So, you know, one of my earlier points earlier in the week had to do with like Brees, and if you got wowed by a trade deal, you'd have to take it. I don't know if that trade deal is going to come based on that, but that's another reason to consider it if you did happen to get wowed by, say, the Cowboys, who are, you know, star driven. If they wanted to come and say, "Oh, we'll give you a 2 for Brees," then we could take a running back late and fill out other parts of our roster. But I think that's a good thing for us either way, even if we stay pat with Brees, because all these other teams are gonna that might need running backs will be able to load up on our area of need, which this draft happens to be chock full of, which is defensive line. And from what I can see in the first 10 picks or so, this is kind of like an 8-9 player draft. At 7, I think we're getting a good player at a position of need, whether it's Ted McMillan, whether it's someone like Will Johnson or Mason or whomever. I'm excited about what Muji can put together based on that. They said to some of the tight ends that are day 2 guys that distinguished themselves were Harold Fannin and Elijah Arroyo from Miami. So that might be guys that we might look to in round 2. But I think that the way this draft looks, it might actually end up falling our way if Muji is depth enough.
Well, we should root for the quarterbacks to go, before the Jets pick, because that will push potentially one of those players you're talking about to 7 on the board.
And the other thing that the piece was saying is that Dart was probably. Now, I think he might get pushed up into the first round, but as far as like rating wise, he wasn't a round 1 guy.
Yeah, I think that's fan manufacture. I don't think that's actually coming from any NFL teams being like, "Oh no, we think Jackson Dart now is a top 10." Like I don't get that sense. Yeah,
I mean, he gets to round 2, you probably jump on him, but
Yeah, but that's a huge difference in the top 7 for the Jets, right?
Yep. Very good, Jake. I appreciate your time as ever.
Are you outside, Kyle?
I'm getting ready to go outside. We might be taking the kids to the movie. So,
all right. Well, you have a great time today, Kyle. Always appreciate you.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
Kyle Clifton, everyone. He's bricked up behind us there. Love that. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Also, I want to plug my Instagram. I'm almost at 6,000 followers. I realize I have almost 42,000 followers on YouTube and only 6 on Instagram. I got to do a better job of plugging the IG and posting. I'm going to be in New Orleans next week for Super Bowl coverage. So if you guys want behind-the-scenes stuff and you want videos and photos from that and other stuff, I'm going to the Knicks-Lakers game tonight because I got to work early tomorrow, so I can't make it to the Hawk farewell, but I'll be there in spirit. Follow me on IG. Just posted my link in the live chat to the 500 of you watching. In theory, that could be 500 new followers. At Jake Asman on Instagram. While you're there, follow at Jake Asman Show, and you'll see clips from the show every day. Not every day, but a lot of days. All right. Let's get to more of your calls. Get to more of your super chats as well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I just saw this from Leon. He goes, the epic prize of all epic prizes would be an Aaron Glenn jersey. I guess you didn't see the announcement. Prize number 5 in the raffle. Aaron Glenn jersey. You pick the size, I send it to you. AG 3-1. I'm working on being able to get the throwback jerseys that Glenn wore when he first became a Jet. Like the jerseys right before Parcells changed them to the ones you see on the screen. But if you get the membership, you're in the raffle for a chance to win. Now 5 prizes. This one, the signed Namath helmet with the display case. The Klecko helmet, the Gastineau helmet. Both of these are signed and authenticated. The Aaron Glenn signed photo, and now the AG jersey as well. So I'm stepping up the prizes because you guys continue to get memberships, and that's awesome. Tyrone with another super chat for us here. He says, so far I love the coaching staff. The defense will be great again. Need a kicker if they could fix the run game and have the GW Rodgers. We can make noise next year. Loud noise, go Jets. I think I understood that, Tyrone. I hope so. I'm not throwing away next year. And if you bring Rodgers back with Devontae, the goal should be to make the playoffs and the longest playoff drought. And once you get in the playoffs, crazy things happen. So, look, it's a long way away, but make the playoffs. That should be the goal. Have a winning season at the bare minimum. 7 teams make it now. I bring up that 06 season because I think it's very similar to where the Jets are right now. That would be the goal. You know, if you don't have Rodgers, the goal should still be to have a winning season, win as many games as possible. We'll see who the quarterback is, but I'm not throwing away next year. I'm not doing it. Altoona writes in, St. John's Providence, 12 noon, baby. That's right. Big game for the Johnnies today. They're a big favorite, though. They should win. They're like 13.5-point favorites. B-Show says, Sam Darnold to the Titans. Titans trading number 1. That's honestly not a bad idea for Tennessee. Pay Sam Darnold a ton of money. See what you have in him. If he's not your guy, draft your quarterback next year in a better QB class. Then maybe you don't feel the pressure of that guy having to play right away. I actually don't hate that idea for the Titans. Like, if you're not sold on Shador, if you're not sold on Cam, sign Darnold, and you could either trade out a number 1 and get a haul. Won't be as big of a haul as normal because I don't think teams are going to give you like 3 1s to move up for either of these quarterbacks, Cam or Shador. But someone will give you something. Maybe it's the Giants flip you their 1 next year to guarantee themselves Shador at number 1 and move up 2 spots. Whatever. You trade out of 1, and then imagine Tennessee comes away with either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. That'd be smart. And then Darnold's their quarterback. I don't hate that idea at all. Or they might just say, Abdul Carter's the best player in the draft. Hunter's the best player in the draft. We're just taking him. Done. Call it a day. I don't hate that plan. I don't know if they'll do it, but I don't hate it. If I was a Titans fan, I'd like that. Johnny Danks in the house with a super chat. Jake, can you give us a hint who the current Jets player is you'll be interviewing next week? Can I give you a hint? I don't want to give it away, but I will give you a hint, Johnny. But it's going to be a very vague hint because I want to surprise people. And I'm also working on more than one, so I don't want to say too much. Last year, we were lucky enough to have C.J. Mosley on. We had former Jet Santonio Holmes on. LeJay Douzable, former Jet, was on. So it was a good – that was Vegas, though. We had more celebs there. This former Jet – no, excuse me. This current Jet has been with the Jets. He's – let me put it like this. He's one of the longest tenured Jets on the team. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say too much. He's been with the Jets for multiple years. Party with Peg and Artie. Beast time, Jake. Need some intelligence. Look, it's tough to argue with that, right? You want intelligence. I mean, we got one guy on this show, and one guy only. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Hello, Beast.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. With the farts? Yeah, that's pretty funny. Comedy classic. Well, I had a little fun yesterday. Boy, did I have a lot of fun. A meatball sub with extra cheese and a little bit of garlic. Bam! That's how I like my stuff. Can we tell the crybabies one thing at a time? Ladies and gentlemen, before I get into football, last night there was an accident in Philadelphia. Yeah, there was some burning and stuff like that. But you know what? Let's help our friends out. Let's get our Jet Nation to help out those people out there, because no matter what happens, no matter what anybody says, let's go out there and help them. You know, we're Americans. We love our country, and I love this show, and I love you, Jake. But hey, only as a friend. Only as a friend. Not go far.
I see. Now, Beast, I think you make a great point. Unfortunately, Peter Castro says, send lard ass to the hole, so we will see you later, Beast. Now look what you've done. Beastbreaker 666. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut your call off and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. Do you understand me? You catch my drift?
Are you seriously on crack? I think
give him another 24 hours to think about it.
How about you bending over and taking up the booty hole behind the 7-Eleven?
Look, I'll say this. If you want to bring Beast back, it takes 10 memberships. I thought he was making a good point there. Beastbreaker has wrote in, Castro, you're an asshole. So Peter Castro's still not on board the Beastbreaker train just yet. But maybe he will. I want to hear who Beast has in the Rumble today. I see we got a super chat about that from Johnny. Come on. How about this? Someone gives 5 memberships and we'll temporarily bring Beast out to give his Rumble take for all the wrestling heads out there. Come on, man. Vinny writes in, like the NWO, Beastbreaker for life. See, Beast? You become a martyr on this show to some. Keep doing your thing. John says, no one goes down swinging like Beast does. Nobody. Mike D's Nuts in the house. He says, thank you, Peter. Mike D's Nuts is anti-Beastbreaker. Let's see. Party with Peg and Artie. I feel bad. I cost Peter Castro 50 clams. It's okay. That's not even close to the wildest purchase Peter Castro has made in this show's history. How about back in June after an OTA practice? Does Alan Lazard have a pulse? $500 for that one to Robbie Sabo. An all-time moment. That's No Ghost has gifted a channel membership.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, That's No Ghost. His membership has went to. And I'd love to tell you folks, but I have no idea. I don't know. It's not coming up. Do we max out on memberships? Uh-oh. Do we Nick Shine this? That could be a problem. How am I going to keep track of raffle entries? Nathan Shell's in the house. Hey, Jake, Grand Junction. Can you play the 31 AD HC anthem? I can play it. I absolutely can play it. Ladies and gentlemen, the latest masterpiece from Gator McCluskey. Jet up, baby. By the way, Gator has put together an album of some of his biggest hits in this show's history. It's on the Gator Sports YouTube channel and also available on Spotify and Apple Music. Type in Gator Sports Rocks. You'll get the AG song, Cheats Fan, Hey Charles, the Beast Breaker stuff, Chicken and Pasta, He Stinks, Hey Bubby, Bass and Jake, Sexy Rexy. This is just the first album. Check that out. Honestly, the He Stinks one is low-key one of Gator's best. It doesn't get played enough on the show. So I'm playing it right now.
Stop. What's up, Jake?
You're embarrassing yourself.
Oh, shit.
Stop.
Let me ask you something, Asman. What do you think of Zach Wilson?
He stinks.
Thank God he's gone. He never scores no fucking touchdown.
He stinks.
The second pick for number 2 destroyed the Jets' cause.
He stinks.
As maniacs kick so much ass, but some of them, they kill the vibe and make the show a freaking mess. So Jake reminds them.
He stinks.
When Allen calls, he speaks the hate. That cartoon douche, he trashed the Jets. Let Bobby know, cause he's the man who will remind him.
He stinks.
Another call comes from the car. Distorted voice and no Wi-Fi. That's JJ with crap-ass phone. Just cut him off the call.
He stinks.
Is that gas station pizza? Come on, Gary.
He stinks.
Chicken don't go with pasta. Let's get out of here, Jake.
The guy is terrible. Enough.
Incredible. Incredible. And of course, in only Jet fashion, somehow the 2023 Jets won more games with Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, and Trevor Siemian than Aaron Rodgers and the 2024 Jets. You can't make it up. Tiff writes in, we are a house divided. I can't stand the Beast, and Vinny loves him. That's incredible. I'm telling you, it's a 50-50 split. It's wild. Well, he's in the hole right now unless someone sends in a $50 super chat to get him out. Stanley says, yo, send Yo Holmes to the hole, saying that A-Rod's record is just 5 wins without putting it into context. The crappy defense, special teams, bring up Zach won 7 games. It's just lazy. It is very lazy, Stanley. I agree. But I don't know if we can necessarily hole him for that. But it is very stupid. And I'm not one trying to tell you all that Aaron Rodgers was incredible. I'm just simply here saying that if you're going to try and argue that somehow Zach Wilson played better because he won more games, which, by the way, that's not even true, right? Zach didn't win more games. Zach Wilson started for the Jets. They won 4 games. 3 if you don't count week 1 where Rodgers technically got the win. Trevor Siemian won games. They won 0 with Boyle. They won 3 with Siemian. Or do I have no? Siemian won the Commanders game and the Pats game. Maybe won 2. Okay, so maybe Zach won 5. If we count week 1, which we should. He played basically every play besides the opening drive. Yeah, I mean, you know. It's not like Zach won more games. Like, you know, Zach also had a top 5 defense and a kicker that didn't miss. That's an important part of the conversation. All right, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to June the GM. What's up, June?
So, Jake, you know when I have this hat on, I mean business.
Oh, yeah. I wore that hat yesterday.
Yes, sir. I've been in the war room, and I got a sneaky quarterback that no one's talking about that hit my desk from the University of Wilfrid Laurier, quarterback Taylor Elgerma, 6'6" gunslinger from Canada, who was in an all-star game down there. He was so good, they invited him to the Senior Bowl. Do some research. Listen, I can't, fellow Jet fans, I can lead you to the water. I'm not going to force you to drink. I just gave you 6'6". They say he got the gun of a Greek god. They say he's slinging it from 50 yards on a tight rope. So maybe 4th round, 5th round, 6th round. Let him sit behind A-Rod for a little year. I don't know.
Look, I don't know anything about him, but I'll tell you what. The idea of them doing something like that, I'm in favor of it. There's someone they like, and they don't do it early. They should add another quarterback to this room. You know, there's there's a belief in some NFL circles you should take a quarterback pretty much every year or every other year till you have one.
And he's only 20. He just turned 22. The word is that, man, the kid is disgusting. That he's that good. They said, come up to the Senior Bowl, bro. I know it's last second, but come up. And I'm surprised no scouts have talked about it, but a couple of things I've seen, they said, man, the kid was very, very impressive for just arriving there on some last second stuff. Check him out. I think we might have something late round and never know. And I keep hearing this thing about the backup quarterback from Detroit, who never got a shot to be the backup in the playoffs, the kid Hooker. What you think about him?
I really don't love Hendon Hooker. I'm good. The fact that Teddy Bridgewater showed up after coaching high school and immediately supplanted him on the depth chart, I'm good.
And one last thing, I think we need to let the beast out. You know, I think it's being a little bit mistreated on today on a Saturday morning. You know, I think he was making some good points and you jailed him for no reason. I think it's messed up. And tonight, I don't know if there's any boxing fans watching. Benavidez against Morrell, 2 undefeated champions in their prime. That's gonna be a good one.
I know that fight is tonight. I know Gary gave a pick on it the other day, but I forget who he likes in the fight.
I got Morrell.
He likes Morrell?
I got Morrell
because you got Morrell?
Benavidez has a suspect defense, likes to lean a lot and throw his blocking hand is left down a lot. Morrell's faster, he's more athletic, got better feet, but you know, if you let Benavidez impose his will, you know how he stalks you down. They call him the monster for a reason. I think it's going to be a good fight, but I got Morrell beating him.
I'm looking forward to hopefully watching it. I am going to the Knicks-Lakers game. That game starts late, 8:30. So after, I'll be out. I'll be watching somewhere.
By 40.
Yeah, I hope JJ Redick has the balls to try and play Bronny against this Knicks team right now. I would laugh.
I think he will. I think he's crazy enough. I hope he does. So Brunson could give him 73.
Yeah, he's going to get the Knicks are going to go after him. So I look forward to it.
I hope so. It looks like we got a good sports day tonight. So yeah. I'm excited.
June, great call as always, my man. Love the hat. All right, here's what I'm going to do because I'm seeing a lot of people say bring Beast back. You heard June just say it. We don't do this often, but I'll make an exception here on a special Saturday. Free Beast from the hole. A bounty. Basically, a bail has been posted in the chat. 15 super chats of any color. If enough people want them, we can bring them back. That's no go, says Beast was making some salient points. Vinny, let the Beast out. This is what we're talking about. Bernard says Favre won 4 games with the Packers in 2025. BMAX in the chat, baby. Making some good points. Breeze went 7-9 6 times. Yeah, look, obviously the record gets assigned to the quarterback, but it's not only on the quarterback. Justin Herbert won 5 games, or his team won 5 games before Harbaugh got there. You know, like you still need an infrastructure. You still need coaching. That's no ghost. Free the Beast. 1 down, 14 to go. So I agree with that. Breaking news from the committee. Boomtown announces the committee's working hard on power rankings from January and hoping to have them complete by the end of the weekend. Boomtown, I'll tell you what, if you guys are able to get it to me by the end of the weekend, that first show from New Orleans, we could kick it off with the power rankings for January. That'd be awesome. Now, no pressure if you guys can't. You have lives. And you guys put a considerable amount of effort into this, which everyone who watches the show appreciates. But if you guys could get it done by, Monday afternoon, when I plan on doing my first show from Radio Row, we can announce it then, which will be awesome. So breaking news from the committee. Rankings potentially Monday on the channel. By the way, the final rankings until the tournament. Gator says, how is Beastbreaker not #1 for January? Rick says, Jake, when's the raffle for the Namath helmet? I'm thinking about doing it next Friday, Rick. And then I'll send out all the prizes when I get back from New Orleans Monday. When I can get to the UPS store. So we'll hype it up during Super Bowl week. I probably will add more prizes. If you missed it earlier, folks, Aaron Glenn jersey is now added. So I'm thinking about doing it Friday. We'll celebrate Football Friday, the last one, with the 14th Asmaniac raffle. Ralphie with a super chat. Free the Big Gabagoo. That's a great nickname for Beast. The Big Gabagoo. Let's see. Love Bites. UFC fights are happening right now. Are they? I'm trying to put the St. John's game on right now, but I don't think I can find CBS Sports Network, which I know I have, but I don't know where it is. Also, why is St. John's playing on CBS Sports Network? We can't play on a real channel. Very annoying. M. Morris writes in, V-Man is great, but I'm concerned with the lack of consistency lately. Calls like 2 times a week. That's okay. You don't need to call every day. You just want to be impactful. Sometimes you could oversaturate the market, which you don't want to do. The key is to be memorable with your calls. You got to strike that balance of calling enough to be known, but not overdoing it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have successfully found CBS Sports Network, so we're locked in. Speaking of V-Man, though, he gave you one of the all-time great recent calls, I thought, yesterday. For those who missed it, yesterday, V-Man became a real-life superhero. V-Man became Captain Puerto Rico. Fly around, baby.
I am not doing that. I don't have the space.
Start from where your chair is and then run and then jump onto the bed so we see the Puerto Rican flag. Captain Puerto Rico. Does it get better than that, folks? A real-life superhero. Ladies and gentlemen, a man is on the line who I thought won Asmaniac raffle number 13. I thought he was listener Jay Cruz who won the signed Garrett Wilson jersey. It was my mistake. I brought him on. I was like, congrats. He didn't win. So I said, you know what, Jay? I'm going to send you an Asmaniac merch item of your choice. And he picked an Asmaniac hat. So JT is on the line, and he's wearing the hat that I sent him. There it is. What's up, Jay?
Let's go. What's up, man? How you doing?
How's the snapback? It looks good?
Yeah. Fits perfectly, actually. I like it.
Love it, man.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, man. Came in last night, but I was a little too busy to call in. So I wanted to show it off today.
Nah, you're good. I appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah. I think that because I heard this being talked a little bit earlier about how Rodgers will mesh with the new staff and everything. I personally think Rodgers may be a little humbled from last year, the way last year went, that maybe he'll be a little more in tune to like listen and like follow along with, you know what I mean? Like instead of his way, he's okay with more Aaron Glenn's way because he saw his way with his buddy work the 5-12 season.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I just think it comes down to like what's the fit like in that conversation? Like how all in are they about him and vice versa? I don't rule it out there. I know, like I've heard some people say 20%, fine. Like I think it's a lot closer to 50-50 than people realize. I really believe that. I think Aaron Glenn's going to want to win, and he's going to realize that Rodgers gives him the best chance to potentially do it.
I agree. I mean, you keep flashing those stats with Zach Wilson the past couple of years and everything. I mean, the stats don't lie, man. While he didn't look crisp, like normal Rodgers crisp, he still looked good enough to get us by. Like, he played the average quarterback play that we were saying we needed. And I know you've said this on your show before, but, like, if we had the defense of 2023 with that Rodgers last year, it's a whole different season. And Greg Zuerlein and the whole nine. Like, it's a whole different season. So, and I saw a little bit towards the end of the season with the mobility coming back, like people have said. I see it a little bit too. So maybe with a whole offseason with him to rest up too and not have to like rest up and get healthy mid-season with a bye week. with a full offseason. Maybe we see a whole rejuvenated Rodgers. I mean, he's not getting any younger, but maybe we see rejuvenated Rodgers.
Well, there's two ways it could go, right? It could go like, hey, he's better because he's not rehabbing all offseason like he was last year with the Achilles. Yep. Or it could be, well, he's 41 though, so that's kind of negated by the fact that he's just old. You know what I mean? Like, who cares if he's not rehabbing? He's just old, so he's still going to be susceptible to being more washed next year due to age. I don't know. I mean, it depends how you view it.
I know he's a robot, but Tom Brady played to 45, so it's possible. You know what I mean?
And look, the way Rodgers played against the Dolphins, like, he was moving around, making plays with his legs. He still can play. Is he what he once was? No, but he doesn't need to be for this team to be competitive next year and have a chance to make the playoffs.
Right. Towards the end of the season, you got flashes of what he looked like week 3 when we were all in that building thinking it was going to go a lot differently. He looked like a different person between week 3 and about week 15 or so. So I think with a full season off and a full training regimen throughout the season, throughout the offseason instead of rehabbing, like you said, I think we definitely see a new Rodgers. So I think it's a little more closer to 50-50 than people think as well. I agree with you, man.
Jay, great call, man. Glad
Thank you.
Got the hat. That
Happy
came in
Saturday,
quick,
I
right?
appreciate
What
it.
was that, last Friday?
Honestly, I can't wait for that Aaron Glenn shirt to come in. Built for this shit. Let's go.
Love it. Jay, appreciate you, man. By the way, for those who are interested, like JT was, he bought some Aaron Glenn or AGHC merch. We have 2 shirt options and 2 hoodie options right now. These were both designed by Asmaniacs, which is awesome. This was designed by an Asmaniac named Dave to put your seatbelts on, get ready for the ride. And this was built or designed, by Sham, who many know from our Discord. He's the mod in our Discord. Sham BTW. We're built for this, bleep. So 2 options for you, jakeasman.com. Plus all the other items in the merch store. And I will add a merch item of your choice to our raffle as well. Could be a quarter zip if you want it, because Purple Belt Mike gifted some memberships for that. And I said, hell yeah, we'll do it. But for those who tuned in late, Aaron Glenn jersey now added to the list of prizes that now feature Namath helmet grand prize, Klecko helmet prize 2, Gastineau helmet prize 3, Glenn photo prize 4, Glenn jersey prize 5, and then merch items prize 6. Raffle, I'm targeting Friday. Because I'll be in New Orleans. It'll be the last football Friday of the season. That's the plan. Gator writes in NBDS, Beast Breaker Derangement Syndrome. Some love for Beast. We have 4 super chats at the 15 I set to equivalate the bail for Beast after Castro sent him to the hole. Bobby Midnight says, free the Beast. How about that? They once started off not seeing eye to eye. Now there's respect. There's friendship. I will do some more calls here on a Saturday. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do so if you're one of the 400 plus in here right now. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. A channel membership has just been gifted by Devin, DNY for life. Devin, you are the man, my friend. It's not showing who's getting the memberships. YouTube is down. So I don't know who got it, but if you got it, Devin's the one who just gifted you a channel membership. With that said, let's get to more of your phone calls. I know where we're going next. We just mentioned them, and it's time to say hello to our friend, Bobby Midnight.
Well, you know I love the Yankees and the Jets, and to read the super chats are more than just a hat. Bobby.
Hi, Jake. How you doing this morning?
Bobby, how are you?
Good. My back was killing me yesterday, so I couldn't get my haircut. I get it on Wednesday at 11 o'clock.
I've been hearing about this haircut for
I know, but she was
already.
sick. Her kid was sick, and then I had a bad back.
I see.
So today, I get my show back today at 2 o'clock. I'm gonna have a show.
Oh, the Bobby Midnight program is back.
I figured out which one. Guess how many stream yards I have?
How many stream yards?
I have like 3 accounts, I think.
Probably makes sense just to use one, no?
I know, but I don't know. I screw up when Nick tried to help me out. he showed me which one to go to. Now I went to the right one to pay it.
So are we going to have 30 people on the show again, like this moment?
It's up to 10, but not 30. But yeah, it's funny though. Yeah, Free the Beast, please. That I gave 2 super chats for that. And if Cheese Fan is called in today?
Cheese Fan is not called in.
No, I was gonna.
We'll save it for the next time he calls in, though.
Okay, I heard you wanted me to sing yesterday, but my back was.
Well, it's tradition on the show, is it not?
I know I didn't get on yesterday.
I know you're very busy.
Yeah, no, well, my back was killing me, so I was laying in bed. I wasn't watching it from my bed. Michael's gonna be on my show today at 2:00 too. Hopefully, his internet works good. So the next play at 8:30 because of the game today at 12:00 or something.
The game is on ABC Saturday night prime time, so it's later. So
okay, because I know St. John's is playing at MSG today too, right?
Mm-hmm. By the way, you should have probably have Beast on your show.
I want him back. I abandoned him, but I put him back. He's a good guy.
Yeah, see.
He'd be funny on my show. I don't care. He could talk as much as he wants.
Kakuka Lake Jet fan for Beast, but only if he does the truffle shuffle. All right, we're counting that, Kakuka Lake.
He could probably do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably doing it. Yeah. And then you have a radio show tomorrow, you said?
I'm on Sirius. I'm on Mad Dog Radio from 12 to 4 Eastern tomorrow.
All right, try to call in that one.
It's going to be
and
wild.
Also, when you go next week, can you find my friend Gabe Morency? You know, you said you know him?
Yeah, he's with Sports Grid, right?
Yeah, Sports Grid, yeah.
I'll be on the lookout.
Tell Bobby says hello. He knows me. He knows Craig Carden, too. Remember that show he did for Craig Carden when he went to jail? Craig Carden went to jail.
Cincy Matt says Bobby and Beast for life. I do know that show, yes.
Yeah, remember his co-host, Michelle?
I do. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, I know where this is headed. Here we go.
Calm your freaky down.
I know, haven't done that in a long time, right?
No,
she got married. She got married to the
Good
guy
for her.
who is dating. I know. I had a big crush on her. Oh, yeah, but things didn't happen. So, do you know the Yankee guy that he was on the show too?
The Yankee guy?
Yeah, he sat in the corner. He was another
Corey Parsons.
Yeah, you know him.
I do know him. Yeah, not well. I met him.
Yeah, me and him had a few tiffs on the show.
I see. Well, speaking of
Yeah.
Tiff,
Yeah.
she writes in, my birthday's March 7th, and all I want is for Bobby to sing to me. Put it on your calendar.
Of course, Tiff, you be here. I'll sing to you. When is March 7th anyway?
Well, it'd be on March 7th.
It's right around the corner. Hey, at least today we could get what's Royal Rumble today because no Super Bowl.
Yeah, I won't be watching that, but I'll hear
You know
about
you're
it.
going to be at the basketball game today.
Yeah.
Knicks.
And then
Go.
Charles Corbin's going to be at the strip club today. I'm sad I can't go.
I
got to work
know,
too early
right?
tomorrow to make it out there.
Imagine him at a strip bar. Oh my god. Oh god, he is gonna flip out. Hopefully his parents don't find out.
JAFO is offering up his wife to you, Bobby. Your thoughts?
No, thank you. You can have your wife.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. Vinny says Bobby's got to sing for Tiff.
Yeah, well, she's single. Of course, Vinny. I'm not gonna be that stupid.
June says, how's the job looking? Did you interview yet, Bobby?
They gotta come in on Tuesday. Tuesday next week.
Tuesday, it could be interview day?
Yeah. Interview day, yeah.
All right. Let's practice again like we did the other day. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Bobby, appreciate your interest in this position at Burger King. Why do you think you're a good fit here?
Because I like to be good to customers. I like to cook for them. And I'm very respectful to people. I'm a people person.
Do you have any previous fast food experience?
Yes. I worked at McDonald's down in Greenfield, Massachusetts for like almost 6 months until my license got taken away from me because the New Hampshire child support took it away from me. So
Why don't you say this in the interview if they ask you that? Say, yes,
Yeah.
I earlier on in my career, I used to work at McDonald's, and then let them follow up from there.
Okay, and then also the Quincy down coming to work 4 years too, cooking and breakfast and lunch.
And you got to give some more energy and enthusiasm. Really, really bring up your passion for the job that you want this. Like you want to work there.
Yes.
You've had Burger King your whole life. You have
So
previous
it's
experience
good.
in fast food, and you're very interested in working in a team-friendly environment and helping others.
Should I tell them the experience? When at Cub Scouts we went to Burger King, they showed us how to make Burger King in Queens, New York.
Well, you could maybe mention that you've had Burger King your whole life, and you could share that antidote.
Yeah, but then we saw how it worked. We went into the kitchen. They showed us when we were kids.
I say, well,
And
definitely don't
Cub
bring
Scout-
up anything. Don't mention anything about child support in the interview. All right.
Oh no, okay, then I won't. Yeah, that won't be good. Okay.
You're pitching
fine.
yourself. They need you. Don't diminish your value as an employee.
Right. Yeah. No, I was trying to tell them the truth.
Hey, you just don't need to mention all the details of the truth.
Okay, gotcha.
You answer their question with enthusiasm.
Yeah.
With a real plan and energy.
Mhm.
That's it.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Here's another question that might ask you.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years here if we hire you, Bobby?
Well, not a manager. Just like to be a regular employee.
Well, here's what I would say. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm just focused on trying to get this job, do the best I could do, and I'm not really concerned 5 years from now. I just want to come in, get a feel for this place, and just like Aaron Glenn said that he's a Jet, he's built for this shit. You then look them in the eyes and say,
"Well,
I'm a Burger King employee. I'm built for this shit." All right.
You don't say shit though. You can't say shit.
Don't say that at all. Actually.
No, don't say shit. No. You told me don't bring up the child support. I won't bring.
Yeah,
shit.
don't bring up child support and don't curse in the interview. That'd be good.
No, I don't curse. No.
Just say you really want the job. You have experience. You're excited, and then end your interview with all gas, no brakes.
Right, that's a good idea.
Shout out to Chef Kevin.
Oh, Chef Kevin, how you doing, Chef Kevin? Yeah, if I lived in New Jersey, I'd go work for him. I wish I did. I gotta get out of Vermont. Me and Michael went out of Vermont. And Michael, thank you for the gift you gave him too.
Did he get it?
Yes, he finally got it. He said,
right.
"Thank you for the extra gifts you got."
Some of them are for you too. I sent every type of merch I have that could fit in that box is in there. Cups, stickers, magnets, bottle openers, keychains.
Oh, bottle openers, good.
I sent bumper stickers. All right, there's an Asmaniac one and then a Jake Asman show one. Those are bumper stickers. So I sent everything I have is in that box, plus the Glenn autograph card, the Sauce, Breeze, and Garrett cards are all in there too.
He'll love those. Yeah, thank you very much.
But some of the stickers and the magnets, that's for you too. All right.
Yeah, he'll put them on this card. We'll put them on the card.
Yeah, no, make sure he gives you some stickers and some magnets for your fridge.
Oh, I got stickers when we went to the game that time.
Yeah, well, these are better now. I have more stickers.
Okay, that's good. Sounds good. Okay, great call today, guys. Have a great day. Can't wait till 2 o'clock to get back to my show, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I need help, though. I'm on 303. I need to go to 500.
The legend of Bobby Midnight. Go subscribe, people. Thank you, Bobby. Cincy Matt, Bobby and Beast for Life. Cincy Matt, Bobby just quoted AG from his press conference. Hired on the spot. Hey, great point. Rick Kent with a $20 super chat, which means another 5 raffle entries for our guy, Rick Kent. Hit the Jet Champ. Jake, have you talked about Orlovsky's take on hiring the tight end as OC, meaning Rodgers will 100% not come back? He said there's no way Rodgers would take direction for such an inexperienced play caller. I don't know. I haven't seen the comments from Orlovsky on this. But I'll certainly look for them, Rick, and maybe do a video. I personally don't think that means Rodgers can't come back just because they hired a first-time OC. If you remember, Green Bay hired a first-time OC/head coach in LaFleur, and Rodgers stayed on and won 2 MVPs out of the 3 years or 4 years he played with LaFleur. Oh, and TE, you mean Tanner Angstrom, I see. Well, I think Engstrom coached the tight ends. No, that was the O-line coached the tight ends. Engstrom previously coached the tight ends there, though. Point is, I disagree with Orlovsky. I'm not saying Aaron's coming back, but I don't think he's not coming back because of this hire. I agree with what Joe Caporoso said on the show for those tuning in late. Sco writes in, free beast. How many are we at right now? We're 5 away to bring Beast back. See, I told you, the people want Beast Breaker. I think people want his take on, is today the Royal Rumble? It's not WrestleMania, right? It's the Royal Rumble. Party with Peg and Artie in the raffle for $20 super chat, 5 more memberships, and another super chat to bring Beast back.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Sco has gifted a channel membership. Boom. Sco, I would love to tell you who you gifted it to, but YouTube is not telling me. Also, I don't think it's registering memberships now. This is like, I think the Nick Shine thing, right? Send in only super chats for the raffle just to be safe. I'm still going to add you, Sco. I don't want people spending money for a membership if someone's not actually going to get the membership if it's down right now. That feels stupid. So if you want in on the raffle for this one show, $5 super chat will get you a raffle entry because that's the same price of gifting one membership. And I want to be fair because I think it's down to those watching live right now. So $5 super chat from this point on will get you in the raffle for one because the gifting membership option I don't think is working right now. So I'm not getting the names and it's not updating the total amount of members. So send in a super chat instead. M. Morris says, Beast return. Charlotte Chef in the house. This is our guy, Chef Nico. He's one of the great chefs in the country. And Yankee Stadium would not function without this guy. I'll leave it at that. All right. The coaching staff hitting different. I like a lot of the hires so far. I am open to Tanner Engstrom, Nico. I really need to see the senior level as offensive assistants they're bringing in to help. I like Anthony Lynn as a name. How come they're not talking about that? Him and Aaron Glenn know one another. Anthony Lynn's been with the Jets before. He's the running backs coach in Washington right now. He's been a head coach. He's been an OC. He's been with Glenn in Detroit. Anthony Lynn. Todd Haley, another name. Mimosa with some advice for Bobby. Bobby, pick 4 to 5 characteristics / skills about yourself that will carry over into this job. Great point, Mimosa. Bobby, hardworking, great with people, passionate, loyal, reliable. Bobby's getting this job, folks. BK needs him. All right. Cincy Matt says, one more. Aria says, if I gift 20 memberships, can Beast be unbanned the whole day? Don't gift it because I don't think it's working, Aria. If you send a $100 super chat, which is at the equivalent, you'll get 10 raffle entries. And yes, I will make that rule. If you want to provide Beast insurance for the remainder of the program, that is fair game. Joe Namath helmet, Klecko helmet, Gastineau helmet, Glenn photo, Glenn jersey, the 5 prizes, grand prizes in the raffle. Jake Brown radio in the house. See you in 8 hours. I will see you after the Knicks game tonight, my friend. Happy early birthday to Jake Brown, everyone. If you're a New York sports fan, if you're a Met fan, Jake Brown is now a part of a daily Met show. Write it in the chat, Jake. I'll shout it out to the Met fans out there. We got a lot of Jet Met crossover. Mets Daily, I think it might be. But happy birthday, Jake Brown. Bobby Midnight, free the Beast. Look at the people coming together. 15 super chats to bring the Beast back to life. Ladies and gentlemen, sound the alarm. It's time.
You know what time it is? A Beast Breaker 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
The Beast is back, baby. Welcome back, Beast.
Do you know what time it is? Chips! No! Gotta have a little beef. Need a little spice. Need a little excitement. Stay to a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah!
Hey, Beast.
You don't remember that commercial?
Aria has just provided protection for you. Let the mayhem begin. Plus a little Chipotle for tonight. Also isn't 100.
Next week on your show, I'm preparing to make sandwiches on the show. I'm going to make you guys water for sandwiches. I'm going to make my brand new knockout sandwich that you will all like. I'm going to add gabagool. We're going to add roast beef, corned beef, salami, Virginia ham, Caracas ham, a little bit of little cheese, a little bit of extra mustard, lettuce, extra mayo, and if you all want extras, we're going to throw a little bit of, a little surprise on there, a little bit of buffalo chicken, a little fire to that heat, and we're going to make sandwiches. So, at the Peter Castro, I challenge you to a Asmaniac Rumble because I want your ass.
Let's go, Beast. You're calling out Peter Castro.
I'm going to call it jerk right now. Come here, you jerk. I got something for you. Not this Slim Jim. You're not touching that. I know you're going to touch this fist rolling right across your 84-pound brain, oatmeal head.
Hey, Beast, what would you like to say to... What would you like to say to Aria and many others who have gone out of their way to rally behind you? You
guys are now welcome. In the words of the great Tony Soprano, you're welcome to the mob. Welcome aboard. Now you're part of the Sopranos family. Congratulations. There you go. And to the Knicks. Before that, let me say this. Let me say this. Hey, Knicks, let's kick some ass over those Lakers tonight. And hey, we're the New York Jets, and we are built for this shit.
Now, Beast, I have a question for you. You ready?
Now your question.
How do you feel about the nickname that one of our listeners gave you, the Big Gabagool?
Ooh, hard to decide there, my friend. But I would like to be named the Pizza Man, because when it comes to pizza, let me say this: if I get those taken bakes from all these, I can strip off that crappy cheese and that crappy sauce, get my man's sauce on there, and I'll show you how to make man's pizza. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna save that for Super Bowl. You know what? I'm going to save that. You know why? Because I want people to get a nice glimpse of what they're about to expect. They ain't seen nothing just yet. Hang on tight. Get ready for the ride. And we're the New York Jets. We're built for this shit.
Hey, Sko says, I love Beast.
Gracias. Hey, Skull, welcome to the mob, my friend. You're welcome aboard. Now you're not, to me, you're like Christopher. Welcome aboard. Welcome to all the family that donated to my name. You're welcome aboard, the Soprano family. Welcome aboard. It's like being in The Godfather. Hey, like you, I respect you. You're a good guy. If you were my son, like, hey, son, congratulations, you graduated. Now, here's your sandwich. A little gabagool, a little bit of respect. That's what I like. And let me say something. We're the New York Jets. And we are built for this shit.
Hey, Beast.
You know what this means?
M. Morris says
cooking.
Yeah, would you cook for us on the air? Would you do a cooking segment?
I'll tell you what. If you want Emeril Lagasse, Jeff Smith, Gordon Ramsay, you're gonna get the surprises you're about to get. Hang on tight. Get your seatbelts. That's coming soon. And get ready because guess what's coming up next? Baseball season. Who's ready for some baseball? Let's put a poll up. How many Mets fans do we have here? How many Yankees fans do we have here? Let's split it. Hey, to the line. Put it up in the chat.
Give me your best swing. You got a bat handy? Let's get ready for a little baseball season here. Oh, he's got a bat. Here. I want to see what the big gabagoo looks like in the box. Here we go. And the pitch. Then give us the home run trot.
See ya. Put that credit card. Put that on my credit card. Paid, all due. You know what I mean by credit card, paid, all due. And remember, remember these words. Credit card, you got it. Enough said.
That's No Ghost writes in. Beast, am I reinstated as your lawyer now? That's No Ghost, a big part in freeing you from the hole.
Tell you what. You're welcome to the mob, my friend. Come on board. And get yourself a Slim Jim while you're at it. Nothing says Slim Jim for breakfast, my man. Come on, Jake. Did you ever eat a Slim Jim when you were a kid?
I love a good Slim Jim.
Hey, if you want Slim Jims, you gotta go to the perfect stores for them. As a matter of fact, what I do? Went out, got a little funky. Went down, had a little bit of a little, what was it? Ooh, had a meatball sub yesterday. Very good. But I'll tell you this, except there's one thing they learned to miss. Where is your Italian seasonings on that meatball? You know me, I get mad when people don't put my Italian seasoning on certain things like pizzas, meatballs, and also a little bit of that chicken parm. When I walk in there, it's called put the Italian seasonings on and make it look decent. I don't want nothing like this and bland. No. When you cook, you cook properly. If you can't cook, then you're not welcome.
Aria wants chicken cutlets, roasted peppers, and some fresh mozz on his sandwich. Your thoughts?
Ooh, chicken cutlets. I see. Okay. Well, to that one guy, hey, there's a place out in New Jersey. I want to check that place out. Did you ever hear of this place? Parkwood Deli? It's out in New Jersey. There's a guy I know out there. Look him up. Look up the word Parkwood Deli. You want about great sandwiches. This guy makes sandwiches that'll go, holy crap, amazing. Eggplant sandwiches, chicken cutlets that'll blow a person's mind. Everything you can name out, even great gabagool. I'm talking,
hey, Beast.
Yo.
So Aria paid for your freedom. Peter Castro has responded to you returning to the show. Peter Castro has responded to you being freed from the hole for the day by saying it's time for a diaper change.
Peter Castro, I challenge you to a war. I'm serious. I'm challenging you to a war. You've been at me for a month. I'm ready to put you in a casket and bury you 10 feet deep with the roaches. You need to be slept with the fishes. You're a jerk. You little Goomba. I'm going to bitch slap you like I cut you up like hamburger helper and fry you up. So, punk, if you want me, come get you some. Or
Beast, give us one more swing here. All right, give us you got us fired up. Give us one more swing. Let's see you in the box.
Now let me get into my Roger Maris stats.
We need the home run trot as well. Because your internet's failing you, Beast. But I want to make sure we get another cut from you in the box. Give us the trot,
that
baby.
ball is going. She's going. It's going way back. It's gone. It's gone, baby. Gone. Should I say it? Let's go Mets and let's go Yankees.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beast Breaker.
Beast Breaker. 666. He's the man who would kick your ass. And then he'd gobble-goo.
Beast Internet was given out at the end there. So we couldn't do a Rumble today. But we could set the scene for one in the near future. Because I saw Peter Castro was on hold. He just dropped off. But Peter, if you call back in, I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, let's check in right now with a man who needs no introduction. But guess what? We have one for him anyway.
J-E-T-S-T!
You're back from Atlantic City already, Neil?
Yeah, we fly down. They fly my wife down. She's a big hitter, you know.
Wow.
They fly us from Farmingdale down there and then back. So it's pretty cool. You know, I hang out most of the time in the valet area with a guy I became friends with. You know, I smoke a cigar in the valet area. This morning, I'm down there smoking a cigar, and some guy walks out, Neil. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's this guy? I know. Comes over with he delivers the post to the hotel. He goes, "You're on the Jake Asman show." I said, "Oh Christ!" I had, and just at that time, Michelle walks out, so I introduced her to the two guys I was hanging out with at the valet. And she goes, and one of the guys goes, "Oh, some guy was here. He recognized Neil from the Jake Asman show." Oh, Jesus Christ. My husband's always making an ass out of himself on that show. She was not very happy about that, I got to tell you.
Now, I'm glad you called because I was going to message you this. I got a message on Patreon today from the guy who recognized you. William J. Haas is the guy's name. He sent me a message. He goes, I was doing my delivery route at Caesars Casino at AC, and I saw Neil. LOL. I went up and said, Neil. He looked at me like he was about to get arrested. So I told him I knew him from the show. We talked for about 30 minutes, but what a great guy and the exact same person he is on the show. I put myself behind on the route, but meeting Neil was worth it. You are putting a worldwide Jets family together, Jake. LOL. Have a great day. Looking forward to the show as always. So shout out to listener William J. Haas, who ran into Neil in Atlantic City.
What a great guy. William is a great guy, man. He has been working that AC area, I think he said for like 15 years.
Wow.
He's been delivering the New York Post and other newspapers in that area for 15 years. And the guy that I became friendly with, he's a Cowboys fan. He's coming to MetLife for the Dallas home game. I invited him for the Dallas home game, so he's going to be excited over that. This guy has been working the same area in valet in Atlantic City for 45 years. He's my age, he's 63. Could you imagine? Same job for 45 years. Great guy also. But anyway, you saw my beast doppelganger, right?
I did. I put it in the Discord for you.
I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at it. Goes, holy shit, it's the beast. I go, there he is.
He's everywhere.
Got to stop picking on my boy Peter. We're going to come for beast. Better watch.
Peter sent him to the hole today. Someone paid for him to be hole proof.
I saw that, but why is he busting Peter's chops? He wants to get him in the thing. He's calling him all kinds of names.
Well, Peter, every time Beast is on, Peter refers to him as lard ass. We'll send him to the hole. We'll say time to change your diaper and a litany of things. It's never Beast going at Peter first. Let's be fair here.
All right. I thought Peter was laying off him a little bit. I haven't seen last couple of shows live. I was too busy getting my ass kicked at the casino. But I didn't get a chance to. I kind of drawled through a little bit, but I thought Peter was pretty civil with him. You know, if you give Peter respect, he's going to respect you. The Beast has got to give him a little more.
Watch the chat the next time Beast is on because you'll see it.
Okay, but enough already about Aaron Rodgers. He's coming back. He's not the reason we lost.
The kiss of death. You saying he's coming back. Well, it's been nice knowing you, Aaron.
I get it. Nice knowing you. He'll be on the Titans. But they're talking about him going to the Titans too. But anyhow, he's not the reason we were 5-2. Let's be real. I mean, come on. The defense was a complete catastrophe this year. We went from top 5 to bottom 5. And I don't care what anybody says about the stats. My eyeball said that our defense was as bad, if not worse, than the 21 defense when Gase came. I mean, it was that bad. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. And to lose 5 games when you have the lead in the fourth quarter, Jake, that's unexcusable. Right or wrong?
Agreed.
By the way, that tied a record, That tied a record for the league.
Yeah.
No team has lost more than 5 games when having the lead in the fourth quarter. I
agree.
Right?
I agree. But it's not just going to come down to like who gives them the best chance. It's everything else we've discussed. But I agree with you. I don't put the 5 wins and say, oh, well, it's because of like if that's the case, then explain Herbert's team winning 5 games. before Harbaugh got there. Like it's more than just a quarterback. You need coaching. They had no coaching last year, and the defense fell on its face, and the kicking game sucked. If they had a competent kicker, they would have at the bare minimum, they would have matched their win total from last year. Greg Zerline anywhere close to what he was.
No question. That last game against Miami would have meant maybe a wild card berth if everything went the right way for us instead of the wrong way. You know, if we would have kept Salah, or we would have made Rex interim, or we would have made the tight end coach the head coach and left Ulbrich to the defense. You know, just every decision we made in 2025 just completely went against us, Jake. Right or wrong? Everything.
Yeah, I mean everything that could go wrong basically did in a lot of areas.
And look at the fact that we were favored in more games this year than probably any season in the last 10 years, right or wrong. We were favored in all these games.
Well, it was actually historic, the amount of times they lost as a favorite this year. Like, no team was favored more that lost outright than the Jets did. It was, I'm pretty sure it was like a record.
So we even eclipsed Vegas and made them look dumb. And that's very hard to do because Vegas doesn't look dumb very often. But we made them look dumb by how stupid and idiotic this coaching staff was, this team was, and the players and the discipline and everything that's going to get fixed with the new regime. I feel we're going to really we should have a nice step up. And I just want to leave it at that. Everybody have a good weekend. And I'll continue to watch the beast blubber around. And by the way,
what did you think of his swing, though? That swing was incredible.
Swing when he fell on his ass and farted, you mean?
No. You didn't see him in the batter's box there? He looked like Mickey Mantle.
The bat past his belly. Let's put it this way. Gary and him, it's a complete joke. Look, I met Gary at one of our events. Which one was it? The food truck one. Remember he came in?
In Hicksville on Long Island.
I'll tell you, Gary's looked pretty big to me. I mean, he didn't look like, I thought he was a much smaller guy. In person, I mean, he's not like imposing, but he's certainly not a small guy. And I want to tell you something right now. He would give Beast one punch in that big belly of his, and he would double over. It would be over in 30 seconds. And believe me, I'm not Gary's nice and everything. I don't dislike either one of them more than the other. I tolerate both of them, and they're both hard to tolerate at times. But in a fight, oh God, there's no question about it.
I don't know.
He's a trained boxer. He would just go like this. Beast goes.
Look at the tape here, and you tell me. You got to be careful. Right, Beast? You can take Gary.
See the way he swings it up in the air? Gary, one shot, Gary.
I'm going to tell you one thing.
Your mommy.
Pizza. If he got the balls, hey, come in my kitchen and let's see if you can make a man's pizza. And I'm talking a real man's pizza. Sausage, pepperoni, mozzarella, provolone, and a little bit of
get a goddamn internet. Your internet's every other word I hear.
It's terrible, Beast. We got to fix the internet.
Your internet is worse than
Are you there?
Yeah. Your internet goes in and out, Beast. We can't hear you that good.
That's okay. Okay, hold on. Let's get you here. Let's not start crying. Let's get the bets. I got something
Jake,
for you.
am I right? His internet is very choppy.
Oh, it's horrendous. It's
horrendous.
Not good.
Oh, we're gonna see him bat now.
Yeah, look at this. It's Mickey Mantle in his prime. And the pitch.
Bye-bye.
What a swing, Neil. What a swing.
Beast, I will challenge Beast at Coney Island in a 95-mile-an-hour pitch thing. And he will
Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
I have a special surprise for you, Neil. Ladies and gentlemen. Peter Castro has arrived.
Hey, where's the blimp? How you doing, Neil?
Up, Peter. This guy, he's got to show a little respect to the OG department here.
He doesn't show respect to anybody.
But Peter, am I right though? Gary would give him one punch in that big belly, he'd be crying to his mommy. Right or wrong?
It wouldn't last 10 seconds. That fight.
No way. No way.
He's
I don't think he could take Peter at 71 years. I don't know. I'd put my money on Peter with him.
A couple of smacks to the head. All you got to do is a rope a dope, and he'll be huffing and puffing, and then you just roll him out of the attic, down the steps. He's done.
But he's a great. He's got some very good points. He's got
the eraser. You got his own considered
I
the
can
beast
tolerate
eraser.
him much better than I tolerated Allen. I tell you, Allen really got my craw.
He's retired.
I'm so happy. Yeah, he's retired. All right. He's going to be back, but we're going to edge him on. And if you give it 1 week, and we'll get Allen back on the show, I guarantee he's coming.
Did you already
back.
hear him moving the goalpost? He wanted them to hire Glenn. Now that they hired Glenn, he's like, there's no point in going 8-9 with Rodgers next year. He's already given up on next year now. He got the coach he wanted. He's already throwing it away next year.
And what about the passing? We got his offensive guy too. I mean, he should know something about this OC.
Nobody else does. The guy on TV made the announcement last night. He goes, "Who? Who?" Everybody's going, "Who? Who is it?"
No, he didn't even get promoted to the. I mean, if he was any good, wouldn't you think that Campbell would have promoted him to their OC? Peter, what do you think?
I think they wanted someone with experience. That's why they're a win now team.
Johnny
Morton worked there. Johnny Morton was there 2 years ago and left to go to Denver. So it's basically promoting a guy who was there 2 seasons ago.
I would much rather see Doug Peterson.
Yes.
I wanted Clint Kubiak. I never get who I want. Never.
We're not going to get what we want. They got to put all these young snot noses in there.
What about
you know what?
Slow Dick for quarterback coach.
No. Ugh. Slow Nays, Slow Dick.
Flonase. How about Flonase?
Yeah, Flonase.
Who's Flonase? I don't even know who that is.
Brian Flores.
I wanted him. I wanted him as a head coach. But I'm happy with Aaron Rodgers. But he's got to put a strong supporting staff around him. And, it's a crapshoot with these guys. I don't know who they are. I never heard of them.
You like Glenn?
Here's the bottom line.
You said Rodgers. You mean you like Aaron Glenn?
No, I like Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
I like Aaron Glenn, and I like the defensive coordinator, but the most important part of the team is the offense. We need a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but how's the offensive line coach, Jake? Has he got a track record of being successful or what?
He's coached O-line with the Cardinals as an assistant. He's been the tight ends coach. If you like Aaron Glenn, you're putting your faith that he knows what good coaching looks like better than Saleh did or Bowles did. So, no one knows. I have no idea if this guy's any good. He doesn't have a long resume that we could point to.
We're built for this shit.
Yeah, that's what I do know.
Well, Peter, I will say this to you. Aaron Rodgers has got.
We're built for this shit.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
We're going to hand the ball off here, hand the ball off there, play action pass, get Aaron Rodgers under center. His best trait, he's a great play action quarterback, and he's always sitting back there. Come on. He looked great in the Miami game. He threw 4 touchdowns to end the season. Enough said. The last time we had a 4-touchdown game by a quarterback, I think Jake was walking around with a binky.
I'll tell you the truth. I think it's going to come down to whatever Aaron Rodgers wants to do. I think the Jets will, if he lowers his salary and he still wants to come back, I think the Jets will have him back. I think Aaron Glenn would want him back. Why not?
And he's going to take direction from he's not going to be a guy that's going to be like, I'm not taking direction from you like this Orlovsky said. That's bullshit. Aaron Rodgers is humbled. He knows he didn't have a great season. I mean, he's not a moron. He saw his tape and he made a lot of mistakes. He's going to cow down, get a new offensive scheme. And if we could block and run the goddamn ball, then we don't have to worry about Aaron Rodgers. We can have him, play action and throw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. And let's get, Breece Hall and this guy, let's get these running backs 200 yards a game. Right, Peter?
Yeah, you believe what I don't believe what I hear on this channel. They want to get rid of Breece Hall. Are you nuts?
Oh God.
Oh my God! Why would you ever want to get rid of him? Oh, we'll get a draft pick. How do you know he's going to be better than him? You know what you got with him. If he gets 4 or 5 yards, he's gone.
Brees
And we're
Hall is
built
gonna
for
get-
this shit.
We're built for this shit.
I got to send you a shirt, Peter. You love it.
Yeah, I need a shirt.
Hey,
We're built for
wait.
this shit.
We got to get a defensive coordinator. Blitz, you bastard. We're going to put some like blitz. We got to get Blitzaroonie for Peter. Blitz.
They will blitz more, Peter. You'll be happy. Will blitzes a lot more than Salah ever did.
This guy's going to blitz a lot, from what I see. Everybody says it. He's going to be blitzing quite a bit.
Well, hopefully Aaron Glenn could teach Sauce Gardner how to turn around looking for the ball when it comes. That's all we need. If you blitz, that means that they're going to be throwing quick passes, and maybe, it's going to create turnovers. Look, they had no turnovers. There was no discipline. Every guy on defense was fat and out of shape. This year, they're going to be a different team on defense. I really think we're going to turn the ball over. Jake, I'm curious. Where did we rank in turnovers on defense this year? I got to believe it was bottom 5.
I had to be.
Yeah,
I don't think we turned the ball over 10 times this year.
Well, think about it. I mean, Sauce had that one interception, and then you had the 2 from Eccles. Who else had picks this year? Like Ashton Davis had one, I guess, the last game against Miami.
That was a garbage pick.
How about punching the ball out?
But
they don't ever do that.
Is that right? The Jets had like 4 interceptions all season?
That's it.
I can't think of any other one. So yeah, they were terrible.
And every fumble, what happened every time the other team fumbled?
They never fumbled it. Never.
Right. We couldn't get a ball every other team that creates a fumble, 85% of the time, the team creating the fumble gets the ball. With us, it's about 10%. Jake.
The coaching staff was terrible. There was no coaching whatsoever on that team. It was a party time. Absolutely no coaching. And they all had to go. They should have went last year. We wasted a year with them.
We did. We didn't know it, but honestly,
Peter, you were the only one. I got to give Peter all the kudos. He was the first one. Get rid of these coaches. And we all said, let's give Salah another chance.
Let's give Salah another chance. Maybe with a quarterback, he'll be good. Maybe. He sucks.
Don't give up. But, Peter, I hope after 1 or 2 losses, you're not calling for Aaron Rodgers to be axed out. Aaron Glenn to be axed out. Give him a season.
First 3.
I know you're a little quick to pull the trigger.
Fire Glenn.
After 2 losses, this Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn. I got to see Aaron Glenn's personality during the game. I got to see how he uses the clock, the time. I'll know in a couple of games how good Aaron Glenn is.
You think maybe they're going to go? How many times did you see our coaches go back and talk to the offense or the defense? Never. They come off the field, they go sit on the bench, and the coach sits there like this. When you see Belichick and you see the great coaches, you see them, talking to the defense in strategic parts of the game, telling them where to be, telling them what to do. What the hell are our coaches do? They never do shit.
No, I don't want to see Glenn intimidated by Aaron Rodgers if he's on the team.
That's not happening.
I don't want to see that. If I do see that, I won't be happy.
No, listen. Look, Aaron Rodgers ate a lot of humble pie this year. He knows he's not what he was, Peter. Let's face it. We all know what we were, right? I think
the coaching staff really helped.
Look at this from Matthew. This is so true. When you watch as much bad football as Peter Castro, you can spot bad coaching pretty quick.
Sure.
We
can spot a bad coach. We can spot bad coaching from a mile away.
From a mile away. I know. I knew Salah was no good in the second. I don't even think it was the second season. He didn't know how to use the clock. He just stood there. He never said anything to anybody. He never walked over to the side and screamed at somebody, and they got away with murder. And it got worse every year. Instead of getting better, it got worse.
Big Rush says Neil is easily the best Asmaniac on the show. I am fascinated to see how you two do in the tournament. I think you guys are going to make deep runs.
We have to be a tag team though. We tag it up nice.
There's no tag team. You could. I'm gonna advise the committee to maybe have you guys potentially meet in like the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 or something.
So
that'd be great. The OG matchup.
Long and short of it is, we thought when we saw Salah, Peter, when I saw him at San Francisco, and he was like crazy. I said, "Wow, we finally got a coach with some juice."
Right.
He comes to us, he puts the headphones on, he looks like Todd Bowles. I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" The only time he's cheered,
me and my son were looking at each other. We said, "This guy's a fraud. What happened to all the fire?
Yeah,
what happened to all the yelling and screaming? He's over there on the sidelines like a mummy,
running up. If I was the coach and we had a losing game, I'd be running before the game, up and down the things. I'd have Quentin Williams and all the guys that didn't do well running in front of me. I'd kick them in the ass all the way up the field, all the way up the stands and back. That's how they have to be treated. Like
the only coach that we had last year that they respected was Middleton. That's the only coach that team respected. And stupid Woody should have made him the head coach when he decided to fire Salah and left that other nitwit for the defense, the one that went to Atlanta. I can't wait. Wait till you see Atlanta. That rotten defense. No blitzing, no nothing. They'll be out of it by Halloween. Watch.
They might take Jamie and Sherwood from us. So
Jamie and Sherwood's going to be gone. But you know what?
Yeah, but I don't understand why the Jets don't move. Moogie, let's go.
Jamie and Sherwood is really, really good. Okay?
We're built for that shit.
However, he weighs 230 pounds. He's a converted safety. I mean, he's not. I want a big monster middle linebacker. I want a guy like Fred Warner.
He's an outside backer, though. No, Sherwood, they should be able to keep. I hope they pay him.
I agree, but I'm not. I really believe he's gone, Jake. If it's not going to be Sal, it's going to be Ulbrich.
Or as Peter Castro would call him, Ulbrich.
Ulbrich. He stinks. Whatever I called him, he deserved. He's terrible. He stunk, and him and Salah could shake hands. And the other thing is I want to see this. I don't want to see Hackett on the sidelines. I don't want to see him anywhere near.
He's gone. He's not going to be back.
Are you kidding me?
I don't even
Hackett's waxing Rodgers' surfboard when he goes out to California. Come on.
I'm going to verify this, but I'm pretty sure Connor Long, everyone's favorite 14-year-old, was the first to notice this, that if you go to the Jets website right now and look under coaches, Hackett's name is not even listed. Neither is Downing. So I think they're both out.
Those guys are long.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Sean Payton was exactly right about him.
I earned a lot. Sean Payton really earned a lot of my respect this year, what he did with that team, turning them around, man.
He's a great coach. I mean, he's proved it.
He is really.
And he's got Zach Wilson.
Yeah, who will never see the field there.
Well, that's one guy he can't turn around. I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ couldn't make him a good quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. I will say to you right now, if Zach Wilson ends up being as good as Sam Darnold, I'll eat an Asmaniac cat right on camera. I will not give a shit. That is not happening.
That would be it for me too. That will be if Zach Wilson ever ends up having Sam obviously
that's never gonna happen.
Sam obviously didn't end well, but if Zach ever has anywhere close to that type of year with a different team, I can't watch football anymore because nothing will ever make sense if that ever happens.
Agreed. It's never going to happen. There's no way.
I had about 20 people watching the Minnesota game at my house, and we all said the same thing. He reverted right back to what he was when he was with the Jets. He was holding the ball until he got sacked. Once he gets flustered, it's the same old story with him.
The one thing that makes me crazy is when a quarterback, right, is getting chased and he's running backwards, and he doesn't just chuck the ball up in the air on the sideline. They take a 20-yard sack. That's one thing that bothers me about Hurst on Philadelphia. He took a safety, a guy as big as that, and when he runs around, he gets sacked behind the line of scrimmage quite a bit, Jake. That worries me about him.
He hasn't
Kansas
turned it
City,
over,
I think, is going to light him up.
I don't know. They always play close. They play with their food. It's going to be a close game, I'm sure.
If they're smart, they're going to run the ball with Barkley until they can't. They got to keep running and running.
Yeah, but you don't think Spags is going to have a plan to try and Hurts to beat him?
Yeah, I know, but it's easier said than done.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens when Spags starts blitzing him, and he has to run to his left. He can't throw the ball at all.
Yeah, I'm worried about that a little bit. I'm worried about that, but
I'm not. I want Kansas City to beat him.
I know, but what do you think is going to be the score of the game? What do you think, Peter? You think it's going to be a rout for Kansas City?
No. Yeah, no. I would say 27, 23, something like that.
Jake, what do you think?
You can't beat Mahomes. Mahomes is 1 in a million. He's 1 in a million, that kid. He's he reminds me, he's a street kid. He's a street kid that plays football like a street kid. He just knows what to do, when to do. Did you see the end of that game? He throws those 3rd and 9. The Jets would have punted the friggin' ball. He throws a perfect pass, for first down. They kill the clock. The game's over. He's amazing. He's amazing.
He's already one of the greats ever. He might be, honestly. And, it's interesting. I'm doing a segment on this tomorrow on Sirius. It's the Brady Mahomes debate is kind of like the LeBron Jordan debate, but in reverse. And what I mean by that is this: like what made Brady was that he kept getting better and better, and he has the longest prime of any all-time great we've ever seen. He was winning Super Bowls into his mid-40s. If you just look at the dominance right now, Mahomes is Brady beat in everything. And if they get a three-peat, like it's the LeBron Jordan thing, but in reverse. Brady is LeBron in this example, and Mahomes is Jordan because Jordan had the 2 3-peats and the dominance. And who knows if Mahomes is going to play as long as Brady did. But I mean, Mahomes, he's the best quarterback I've ever watched. Like pound for pound, like just watching him play the position and his dominance since he's entered the league. He's already arguably a top 3 quarterback ever, if not top 2.
Jake, we stopped thinking about Brady because he's been gone a while. But do you know what it's like to come back from 28-3 and win a Super Bowl?
I get it, but that's the debate here. That's the debate because Mahomes is that
Brady was unbelievable.
It's like watching Jake Asman or Jet Central. That's the difference.
I appreciate it.
Jake, some guy showed me Brady's record against all the teams in the NFL. I didn't realize this. He was 31-8 against us. 31-8.
Yeah, that's why Mahomes keep continuing the winning and knocks Brady off the all-time ledger, which as a Jet fan, great.
But even more amazing, do you know he only lost 3 games in his entire career to the Buffalo Bills?
They owned them.
3. I mean, that's your divisional opponent, and you lose 3 games. I think it was 34-3 or 38. I mean, I cannot believe the record he had against us in Buffalo. He just owned us. He did have 12 losses against Miami. I think it was 21-12 against Miami, which is still a great record.
Yeah, but he's all time. His only playoff loss to any AFC team is the Jets in that 2010 game with Rex.
That's amazing.
Sanchez. It's the only time he lost to an AFC team, AFC East.
That says a lot about Rex. We toy around with it, but Rex got guys up for a game. Let's face it.
I never saw the team down, especially the first few years when Rex was coaching the team. They came out and they played. The last few years, oh my God, they'll play a quarter maybe, and then they go to sleep. Oh my God.
Now,
anybody that hires that RX coaches is out of their mind, except for Salah. He'll be all right playing defense over there because he could jump around and rah. He'll go back to his old style. But any of those other coaches are freaking horrible.
What about Hackett, Castro? If you have an open OC job, are you hiring Nate Hackett?
I wouldn't hire Hackett if he was the last person on earth. He stinks.
I would take anybody on the Jake Asman show over Hackett to call plays on the sideline.
I would have even taken our offensive coordinator now, whose name is Engstrand. What's his name? I got to get this right.
Tanner Engstrand.
God!
What are we gonna call?
You're never gonna. Don't even try that last name.
Yeah, Peter. Oh, that's a great point, Neil. Peter, here we go. The floor is yours. Pronounce our new OC's name.
Tanner Engstrand.
Hey.
Bye.
Tanner. I'll just remember Tanner. The last name I'll never remember. And I like the defensive coordinator. It just worries me that he's been all over the place the last few years.
Some of it's out of his control, though. We got screwed in Arizona, and then Carolina. He was the interim. They were 6-6 with him. They wanted him to get the job, and they fired him anyway.
Oh, hopefully this guy's good.
The one thing is for sure. We only do well as a Jets team when the expectations are the least. That's the only time we do well, Peter. And I could tell by listening to this show the last 4 months that nobody has any hope whatsoever that we're going to be any more than a 5 or a 6 win team. That's the feeling, I think, in a majority of the guys that call into this show, Jake. I know a lot of them have hope, but guys like PBM, these guys are Dre can't even get it. He can't even. These guys think we're never going to win another game.
It will change. The Glenn press conference provided some hope. I've seen it back on the channel this week.
Just with the coaching change alone, it should be worth 3 or 4 games.
Absolutely.
Just the coaching staff alone. So if we won, what did we win? 5? We should be somewhere around 9 or 10. Just with the coaching staff. Unless, if they're real good, maybe we'll win some more games if they know what they're doing.
Agreed.
Nice.
I hope.
All right, gentlemen.
Nice. I'm out.
You guys have a tremendous Saturday. We needed one of these OG catch-up segments, so I'm glad we got it.
Take care, guys. Peter,
take care, Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for Neil and Peter Castro.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hell yeah. Great call, gentlemen. Great call. Some super chats here. Ralphie wrote in, it's the big gabagoos world, and we're all just guests. Bruno says, Beast is the man. Comedy Central. A lot of love for Beast today. Is today a turning point? Aria paid $120 for a Beast-free whole sentence. That's when you know. Cincy Matt says, Jake, can we get old Bernard? I think he means, can we get old Bernard out of here? Criticizing Jet fans has the gall to call out someone's internet. Give me a break. Did Bernard comment on someone's internet? Was it Beast? Man. B-Mac, he hasn't done anything wrong in my eyes. I haven't seen it. He hasn't called in. We know B-Mac's internet's horrendous, though. I will say pot me kettle if I see Bill M says, Jake, now help rehab B-Mac. B-Mac, I'd love to help rehab you like I've done with Beast here, but your internet is trash. Every time I bring you on, we can't even hear you. And it makes that static noise, which drives my ears crazy. So I'm going to need you to figure out how to call from the phone. If you have an iPhone, B-Mac, download the StreamYard app. It's so easy. You don't even need to do that. Just click the link on YouTube. By the way, I did check, and Connor Long is 1,000% right. Nate Hackett is not listed on the Jet website under coaches. He's gone, people. The only coaches listed right now are Glenn, the 2 coordinators they made official, which is Engstrand and Banjo. Wilkes is not official yet. Ryan Davis Sr. is a defensive assistant. Sean Jefferson remains the wide receivers coach. Offensive assistant Walter Kuzmarek. Defensive back / nickelbacks coach Nathaniel Willingham. And offensive assistant fellowship Junior Taylor. So that's what we got on the website right now. Bino says, Jake, we damn know Peter calls him egg salad at some point this season. Oh, you know how this works, people. We all are optimistic and, Engstrand could be the next Ben Johnson, the next McVay, and one of these like Shanahan type guys, Kevin O'Connell. And then we're going to end up hating this guy. That's how it goes. We always hate the OC. The guy's great now, then the games are good. We all love LaFleur when that hire happened. Then he's Satan. Get ready. All right. We like Tanner Engstrand now. We're going to hate the guy. That's just how it goes. Hopefully he's good and we don't, but that's the history of being a Jet fan. We like the guy now. We're going to hate him by September. Watch. Watch. I'm telling you. We always love the OC this time of year. Then the games start. Egg salad for Engstrand. I can see Castro pulling that. You're 1,000% right, Bino. All right, Bobby Midnight, if you're still out there, this guy's birthday is tomorrow, and he is called in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to bring in the closer.
It's G-Fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's G-Fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's G-Fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs-Fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Howdy, Chiefs fan.
Yo, what up? My allergies are killing me today, but I'm doing good.
On the day before your birthday?
I always get bad allergies in February. The thing is, I don't get allergies during the spring and summer months. I only get it during the winter months.
I see.
Like there could be a shit ton of pollen, and I'll be fine.
Well, let's get right to business because your day of birth is tomorrow, Cheats fan. You turn 24 years old,
34.
and as is, 34 years old, and as is tradition on this program, Bobby Midnight is here to sing to you.
Hell yeah!
Hey,
Thank you,
Coach,
Bobby.
fan, how you doing?
Good man. How you doing?
Sorry it wasn't on yesterday. My back was killing me, but I will see.
Hey, Bobby, if your back is killing you, I would. There's no like there's times where my back is killing me and I haven't been on before, so I just lay on this couch with a heated pad.
I was on my bed yesterday too with the pads.
I signed up for Amazon because one of my favorite shows is coming back soon. So yeah.
Which one is that?
Well, it's not coming back soon, but I missed the last season of Omni-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me sing, Jake. Ready, Jake? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Chief fan. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you have a great day tomorrow. How's that, guys?
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas.
Tremendous job, Bob. Tremendous
Yeah,
job.
that's my job on Jake's show, saying everybody happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate
I'm
that.
happy I was here for that.
Yep.
Right, Jake?
Yep.
Bobby, excellent job out of you.
What's the score of the Johnny game? You have to update?
Yeah, it's a commercial break right now. They're up 4 at halftime, 25.
I only lived 10 minutes away from that when I lived in Winnow.
Ah.
What's their record? I haven't looked at St. John's record since the beginning
They're
of the
doing
year.
good this year. They're going to be in the...
18-3.
Yeah, they're good.
They're going to be in the
18-3. Let's
Jake.
go.
Syracuse
And they're
is
15
not
seed. And they're it's in a conference match with Providence, but like I'm happy for you guys.
They're going to make the March Madness. I don't think Syracuse.
I mean, my Mizzou Tigers are doing pretty decent too. We got our ass kicked by Albert and my friend's team.
All right. I'll let the star to be on the closer. Have a good day, everybody.
Bobby, farewell. All right, Chiefs fan, I got to run. So give us your take. Your day out from being 34. How we feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. I decided instead of going out to eat, I'm just gonna make myself some spicy spaghetti. I went out and bought 4 pounds of ground beef for $25. I got myself some spicy peppers with bacon for cheap. So I like to add that extra little bacon grease to that pasta if I'm going to do it that way. Got a thing of pasta for $1 from Schnucks. And I'm going to eat good. I'm not going to go out to eat. The reason why I'm not eating at Applebee's, my friend who's a chef there decided to quit. And he told me everything going. And they told him like he just told me everything that was going wrong there. I'm like, if they're gonna do you dirty, then I'm just gonna refuse to eat there.
Wow, wait a second. So you have a chef friend at Applebee's and he's leaving?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do cooking around here, because like we get together during the holidays and cook for they do food runs and cooking runs for the poor, and there's multiple pantries in this town. So I know a lot of stuff, and I'm like, that's another restaurant I got to boycott now. I'm like, I'm not even going back to Denny's. I'm like, the only diner I have left to go to this place is a pizza place. I'm like, I'm just thinking about saying screw it and spending $70 on Uber on the 5th
So
when I get paid.
Are you boycotting Denny's and Applebee's now?
Yeah.
Wow. You're running out of options.
I mean, at this point, my friend says you're better off spending $70 on an Uber and going out to Red Lobster to eat. But I don't want to spend that much. If I'm spending $70 on an Uber, I'd rather go to the steakhouse.
Why don't you get a steak instead of just spending all that money for delivery?
Yeah. And speaking of steaks, Speaking of steaks, I'm doing steak tacos and wings on the Super Bowl. My doctor said no red meat. I'm like, I can't do it.
You're a
I'm
red
like,
meat connoisseur.
yeah, I told her I can't do it. I'll cut all pork other than bacon. I told her, I'm like, you need to cut all red meat. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I grew up on cheap ground beef with ramen, cheap ground beef with rice, cheap ground beef with pasta.
Would you say you were born to eat ground beef?
Yes. I was raised beef is what's for dinner, the old slogan.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
As for your new OC,
yeah,
I'm happy that you guys got one. I was hoping that you would pluck one off of one of the Super Bowl teams, but I'm happy that you guys have one now. I'm happy that Hackett's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only reason why Hackett was good is because of the Packer staff and Rodgers carrying them. And
yeah,
I just
would agree with
hope your OC works out. I know Glenn is gonna turn the defense around, and can't think of your defense coordinator's name, but I know he's the coach for the Cardinals. Wilkes or something like that. Steve Wilkes, I think. I just hope that turns it around for you guys, because I'm like last year your defense went from top 5 to bottom feeder, and that the Jets defense was good for a couple years. And I'm like, I want that back for you guys. I'm like, could you imagine selling even if it's selling a 6th or 7th or 5th seed with a pick? Come on now. And then if Aaron Glenn turns this defense around back to the numbers, even if it's a top 10, top 12 defense, it's better than last year. And I think Glenn could get you guys to at least 9 to 10 wins if all goes right. And I agree with Peter Castro and Neil. Get the running game started. Put less pressure on Rodgers. Get your own line protected. Put less pressure on Rodgers. Let Brees run the ball. He might turn, I don't know if he's going to have Saquon numbers, but he might have 1,200 or more yards. Let Brees run the ball down the throat and take the pressure off of Rodgers. You never know.
Bruno says that this has been a tantalizing conversation.
Yeah.
Real quick, Cheats fan, I want you to know that the Asmaniacs are wishing you a tremendous birthday tomorrow, all right?
Thank you. Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, the great Cheats fan.
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Exciting announcement on the way out of here. Nick Shine's in the house. He says, I'm just commenting to show off my fancy new moderator wrench. We have added Nick Shine to the Asmaniac Madness Committee. So Nick Shine now has a wrench. I mean, Nick obviously has a very successful YouTube show of his own, but he's been a longtime listener of this show. He calls in often. And we have a rule in the tournament that other content creators who frequently appear as guests on the show aren't in there. It's for the callers. So we have Matt O'Leary, for example, not in the tournament, right? Nick is under that category, and he's very aware of the Asmaniac community because many of them tune into his show. So Nick's a valuable resource for the committee when they're seeding the field of 68 for Asmaniac Madness, which is officially 1 month from now. You can't make it up. It's almost that time of the year. Hey, thanks to everyone who tuned in. Thanks to Joe Caporoso who joined us at the beginning of the show. Hit the like button on your way out of here. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Just hit the subscribe button, people. You know you want to. Join the Patreon. I'll give people another day because it's the weekend. I haven't sent Gator the updated name. So if you want your name added to the intro, if you want all the Patreon perks, go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show right now. Get your merch from jakeasman.com if you want an AGHC hoodie or shirt. We got 2 styles available, designed by Asmaniacs, because I don't know how to do any of this. So I want to thank everyone who's bought some merch. Again, thank you all for watching. My name is Jake Asman. This has been an enthralling Jake Asman Saturday show. Radio tomorrow, noon to 4. If there is a show, it will be after that. I end today's show by saying, let's go Knicks. And Charles Gorman, have a great time at the strip club.
Would you take Robert Griffin III again in the first round?
I mean, at what
just
point?
Yes or no, Jake. Just yes or no. This is not a preamble. It's not filibuster. It's not Spurs about 50 things. Yes or no. Would you take?
Shut up
there you go.
Second. Oh my God, dude.